actually working? Fuck me. I don't know if I'm live yet. Am I? Fuck. Did I already brought it up? Oh, here it is. This isn't loaded yet. Well, before we get into that, I said I wasn't gonna do it for an hour, half an hour. Okay, is this live? Is this happening? Okay. Oh, it is. It's working. Yay. Whoa, it's looking at me look at my emails. Oh, great. Neato. Okay. Well, okay, I'm live, I guess. Sorry, guys. This is my first time doing this. Do I have any sound that I should? I know there's 2 people in the chat. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm gonna take that as I hope so. What we're going to be looking at today, though, I'll check back in a second, so if there's absolutely no noise. Actually, I should probably just ask. Hang on. Fuck, which one is it? Where's my thing? Shit. I'm really bad at this. Okay, alright, okay, so what we're gonna be doing today, I will eventually re-upload this video a little bit more edited to be, a little bit less random. I just decided to do this, though, because I was thinking about it. I lost my enthusiasm to work on the project I was working on. I think it's a really interesting one, but since I just put out a video about comic books, and I think I did mention it at the end, I thought what I would do today is, for this little live stream or whatever, what will end up being a video, is to go over this panel that I run that's about sequential art. So this is going to be a very dry topic. If you are interested in comic books, and that does not just include American comic books, it includes Western, Western comic books, including European comics, as well as Japanese comics and Asian comics, so manga and stuff. This is basically a history lesson on sequential art, but it also is about the science of what makes comic books sequential art unique and interesting, at least in my opinion, and as the data suggests and supports. So, oh, whoops, shoot, there's my real name. I forgot that was in there. Oh, well, okay. So, it's me, Aiden, not that other name that's on the screen. Yep, and I'm a PhD student in media psychology. So, this was actually meant for me to do at conventions, so I just thought it'd be interesting to do it today. So, what is sequential art? So, I think the definition that I generally use is a form of art which uses a train of images deployed in sequence to engage in graphic storytelling or to convey information, which is, that sounds kind of highfalutin in terms of what that means, but it's actually quite simple. It's just you show a bunch of images in order, and sometimes they can have words, but they don't necessarily need to have the written word. The story is conveyed through art where our brains sort of connect the dots between the images, and I get more into the science behind that. But what it really means is all art that includes sequential illustration. And I hope you enjoy all of my adorable little images I have in this stupid presentation. So, again, this is generally a panel I do at conventions, and I do them at weeaboo conventions, aka anime conventions, and it's really changed. I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's really, really changed. I started doing this panel about 10 years ago, and originally the panel was called East Meet West Comics for Manga Fans. And the idea was, at the time, most of the people who were coming to anime conventions had no freaking clue anything about comics, and actually had a lot of antipathy, I found, towards them, like, oh, comics are stupid. Because this is before the Marvel movies blew up, right? So, sort of the basis of this panel, and I still believe this, is to sort of focus on the similarities more than the differences, but the differences as well, between different forms of sequential art amongst different and disparate cultures. Because you basically find sequential artistry in almost every human civilization. This is pretty, basic human stuff, so that's why it's really interesting to me. I love this picture. I will sometimes actually offer a little reward to people when I do this live, if they can guess my one beef with this image in this sequential history thing. And it's only because John Carter of Mars, who is the guy in the middle here with the like strapping Civil War costume, even though he would be naked. That's an issue too. He should actually be nude. But he is listed after Tarzan. They're written by the same author, but Tarzan was actually written after John Carter of Mars. So that's such a fucking nerdy thing to get pissed about. But the history of comics, whoa, what's up with this fucking hieroglyphics being split? That's weird. The origins, though, of sequential art, it does come back to hieroglyphics. In terms of, you could consider hieroglyphics to be one of the earlier forms of sequential art. Truly, you can consider cave art to be sequential because it tells a story through a sequence of images. Therefore, it is inherently sequential art. But hieroglyphics, I think, are the most visceral, sort of, we can obviously see a story being told. And the interesting thing about hieroglyphics is that they're pictograms. So much like Chinese, they're not only telling the story through the images themselves have meaning beyond just the literal, which is pretty interesting. And yeah, it's Will Eisner's quote here, which is, comics, which are really best described as an arrangement of images in a sequence that tell a story, an idea, is very old form of graphic communication. It began with hieroglyphics in Egypt. Again, I think Eisner's a little bit wrong there. I think he can take it back to cave paintings, but he's on the right track. Another very obvious form of sequential art is in terms of stained glass paintings. So in the Middle Ages in Europe, of course, the Catholic priests did not preach in English. They gave their sermons in Latin. The average person at the same time also could not speak English. They couldn't read, excuse me. God, I'm fucking stupid. They couldn't read. So they can't read the Bible, and they can't understand what the priest is saying, but what they could do is they could look at these stained glass images and could use those images to understand the stories and metaphors of the Bible. And that's again why this is so important and why it's so universally human to have sequential art in pretty much every single human culture, because you don't have to read. Again, it doesn't require written language. It tells stories through images, and your brain basically has to make the connections between what happens between each image, fill in the blanks. And again, I will get there. I do talk about it. Yeah, basically every society has used sequential art before people were literate, and since then. So in the West, the first really big thing that you could call a comic is a newspaper strip, which is the Yellow Kid, who I have pictured down here on the bottom right. However, there were political comics going back into the 1700s and potentially even before that were sort of what you could consider to be the first comics, although they were typically one-panel comics, but they were illustration with words. This becomes pedantic and a little bit of a definitional issue, right? Is that a comic if it doesn't have a sequence of images, if it's just one image plus words? But we had the basis, the groundwork laid there. But from then on, comics became really popular in the West. And in the 1930s, women were pretty much equally represented in terms of who was buying comic books, because comics were sold in grocery stores. Well, at that point, the supermarket. They were sold on, magazine racks like anything else is today. They were everywhere. Women read them as much as men did because the comics comprised so many different types of genres. There were dramas, there were soap opera type ones, there was horror, mystery. Every genre that you can think of that is represented in modern media was represented at that time in the 1930s in comics that were on supermarket shelves. However, we will get to why that got screwed up. But yeah, up until the 1950s, romance, horror, and mystery were pretty much the top sellers. And then in 1954, in response to, this is fun, Frederick Wertham, a psychologist. I get to not defend my field here. So Frederick Wertham, he published this book called Seduction of the Innocent. Now, Frederick came to the realizations that he came to in this book by conducting some research. Now, let me explain to you how Frederick conducted his research. He was convinced that comic books made children violent. So what did he do? Did he take a random sample of a lot of young people and give them comic books and then see if after a year reading them they became more violent? No. See, that's too scientific for Freddy here. No, what Frederick did is he went to a boys' home, so like a juvenile hall, right? And he asked them, how many of you read comic books? Well, it's 1953, so all of them read comic books. And as such, he came to the conclusion, well, isn't this proof that comic books make children delinquents? Because all of the juvenile delinquents I asked read comic books. Now, if he'd stepped the fuck outside and asked children on the street if they read comic books in 1953, all of them would have said yes, too. This is very bad methodology. This is abysmal methodology. But yes, that book was enough to, and that research, quote unquote, was enough to basically convince the American government that comic books were very naughty, and they weren't alone. It was actually around the same time where, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, I should, but the guy who first played Superman, he was at like a big public meeting or signing or something, and this little kid walked up to him and pointed a gun at him. This made national news. It's now become way overblown how big of an issue or an event this was. And the kid pointed a gun at him and said, "You're Superman. If I shoot you, I know you won't die, so I'm going to prove that you're Superman because people say you're just an actor. I'm going to prove you're Superman." And the actor said, "You're right, little boy. I am Superman. The problem is if you shoot me, the bullet will bounce off my chest and will hit somebody else and will hurt an innocent person." And it became this whole huge thing. And there were also all of these conspiracy theories, or I guess you could call them at the time, where children are going to jump off the roofs thinking they're Superman. And that was all sort of behind the fear that was going on around comic books at the time. So as such, yeah, the Comics Code Authority basically made it so that you can't publish freaking anything. You couldn't say the word weird under the Comics Code Authority. Like, that was too weird. The word weird was too far. So it basically restricted all types of freedom and of expression and freedom of, anything, really, for about 30 years. Comics couldn't do anything. And as such, every single comic publisher that wasn't Marvel or DC and Archie, with a couple of other rare exceptions, they couldn't publish anything but these really vapid superhero comics. And I say vapid because they were. Marvel really was able to break out because of what Stan Lee called the Marvel method. And that itself was problematic. Ooh, problematic, what a great word. But, yeah, it basically gives people the rightful impression that Western comic books are nothing but superheroes, because for 50 years, they were. And for 30 of those years, that's all they were allowed to be. So, although imprints like Vertigo and Dark Horse, Image, other third parties began to establish themselves and reestablish other genres in the 90s, still to this day, now, what is it, 25 years later, we're still focusing on and working towards fixing Western comics that were destroyed by the CCA. So in Japan, this is actually really interesting stuff that I think a lot of people don't know about the history of manga, so it's why I like talking about it. So, in Japanese, there are 3 styles of writing. There's kanji, which is essentially Chinese. It's the pictograms. Then there's hiragana, and then there's katakana. So hiragana is used for pretty much any Japanese word, and katakana is more used just for foreign words that aren't inherently Japanese. But hiragana begins as onade, which is the women's script. Women were the court stenographers in old school Japan, because, well, okay, so basically, like, men were supposed to learn katakana, but when you're trying to take notes really quickly, it's very time-consuming to do the Chinese script. So the hiragana, the woman's script that was, again, made for, like, the court record keepers, who were, generally speaking, women, they created this script as a shorthand. And this is sort of interesting to me, that the women created the script, and people don't know that. But these court stenographers were sort of the first people to start looking at the idea of sequential art in Japanese culture. So you go back around the same time, you get the Emaki scrolls. This is dating back to the 12th century, and this is actually pictured here at the bottom. This is Tojigiga, which is just you can see there's an obviously story being told of these frogs and these rabbits, hopping around. And even though it's all one page, you don't have the obvious line breaks as you would in a more modern piece of sequential art. You do see that we have a sequence of images telling a story. And then during the Heinen and Kamakura periods, you had women and men both basically flourishing in the arts. It is interesting because we didn't get women artists, and I'm not trying to be a feminist, but it is cool because Japan is, well, they're not typically viewed as a country that's been very, like, pro-women, I guess, or had a lot of women visionaries, but women have actually been pretty much at the head of a lot of their artistry, which is interesting and not what you would expect, I think. But yeah, when the Neo-Confucianism period started during the Muromachi period, it was basically like, no, women can't be court stenographers, or whatever you want to call it. They can't record stuff for the courts anymore. They can't write. They have to have a much more traditional role, it's just how Confucianism works, traditional Confucianism. And then when the Portuguese came to Japan, they started to bring in comic books, or at least comics, newspapers, more accurately, excuse me. They started to bring in newspapers that had begun to sort of be circulated around very basically. It's the 16th century. It's really basic stuff. Like, you're not getting, or books, not newspapers. I'm so sorry. God, I do this all the time and I'm messing it up. So they were bringing, like, in books and images of Portuguese art and stuff like that. And it sort of started the Naraihon illustrated books in around the same century in Japan. And then in the 17th century, you get the ukiyo-e, if you guys have heard of that. Those are black and white woodblock prints. And that's really where you start to see the beginnings of sequential art, because it could be mass-produced because of how woodblocks work. You just dip them in ink, press it. You can keep doing that over and over and, like, massively produce art. But then, yes, additionally, over time, during the 1700s, coloring, shading, all that stuff became possible with ukiyo-e. So the depth of this art could become more and more complex. And although, again, I didn't actually mention this, but like a Chojugiga, and a lot of the other, like Journey to the West, a lot of the other early Naraihon, the early works were going to be retellings of typically Chinese or early Japanese mythology stories. As it worked into the later 1700s, what we started to get was like just a depiction of average life, which is actually very similar to what you saw in the West, in that we went from these great mythological figures. So you go from, Beowulf into what's happening in the daily life of people. Because that is, generally speaking, what tends to interest, on some level, the average person. So then you get the Kiyozoshi and Kokeibon illustrative novels in the 1700s. Yeah, so if you guys have heard of Katsushika Hokusai, he's the father, I guess, of manga. He coined the term manga, which just means random drawings, and it was meant to apply to collections of ukiyo-e prints. So then, as our good friend Matthew Perry forcefully opened Japan to the West in 1853 in his Black Ships, bringing Westerners who published magazines featuring political cartoons. That was, okay, so basically, after 1853, when Japan was open to the West, a lot of Americans settled there, essentially, temporarily, and they started to publish their own magazines. And one of the things that they brought with them from the West at that time were political cartoons. And those really started to influence Japanese newspaper production, because then very soon after, the Japanese began to produce their own newspapers. And the Japanese had actually had access to a printing press for a while. They had tried, I believe, or they originally stole one from one of their failed attempts to conquer Korea. But they were eventually able to get a printing press to get this shit working, instead of just using the wood blocks. But through the 1880 to 1890, the Japanese comic strips, which were again influenced from Western comic strips, began appearing in magazines and newspapers called manga, jiji manga, again, random drawings. On the side, that's Takasaku to Mokube no Tokyo Kenbutsu, which means essentially the daily average lives of people in Tokyo. And Osamu Tezuka, another guy you may have heard of, considered the grandfather of anime. I said manga here, but I meant anime. He started to publish his stories in Akaban, these red books, again taking influence from Western comics. Osamu Tezuka is the guy behind, like, Astro Boy. Very, very influenced from Western art. I have a little slide here on Europe. I wish I talked more about it. I actually nixed it because a friend of mine said that everyone hates it and finds it boring. But hey, I don't. I really like European comics, and they were never influenced by the CCA. They had no Comics Code Authority, so European comics, particularly Franco-Belgian comics, which have been alive and well for far longer than American comics have been, are much more groundbreaking. They're less afraid to try different genres. There's more popular books that are not superhero books. And, I also mentioned here real briefly the British invasion of comics in the late... fucking trucks. The British invasion of comics in the late 1980s, which was basically like, Grant Morrison, Alan Moore, those kinds of... Neil Gaiman. Those guys all came into the comic book industry and in the US. And they really revolutionized it, whether or not you like those guys. They did change a lot of what comics meant. They made it a lot more edgy. They brought in the European sort of side of things that we were a bit lacking under the CCA. Not because there's anything wrong with America. Obviously, it's because the CCA had stifled our creativity. Oh, here's my science stuff. I don't talk a lot more outside of this, because the rest of it tends to be like, hey, let me tell you how to read comics, if you haven't. But this is the science stuff that's actually really interesting to me. So, what makes sequential art unique? So, essay, sequential art fills a gap between the written word and film, and you can definitely see this. So, I talk about a lot of things that involve why this is unique and interesting. But sequential art, it's sort of in the middle, right? Because a book gives you no images. You have to make all the images in your mind. And then a movie gives you all the images. It leaves no room for, improvisation. And sequential art's somewhere in the middle. So that's the neat part. The research shows that it's applicable in pedagogical environments. I have 2 studies cited here. Sounds article should be 2014, not 1944. Or is it 1944? Fuck. I don't think that article is that old. Anyway, I highly doubt it's probably like 1994. Anyway, now I'm really upset about that citation, because now I don't know what it is. Shit. Sorry. Anyway, basically what I've seen though from the research indicates that children learn better through sequential art, and as I said, it sort of is requiring your brain to think a little bit more than it might have with a film. So I show someone a movie, it's very easy. There's no questions to be asked, but you give someone a comic book and they have to do a little bit more cognitive processing. And that may be why comic books may help children learn. So there is indication that there is research indication that children learn more when they read a comic book than if they just read a book. There's research, this Gerd and Foster piece in 2008, which was an interesting piece. It helped children learn ethics. So, compared to books and film, reading a comic book helped children, again, do this extra processing to figure out the difference between right and wrong, like whether or not something was ethical. I put here, raises awareness to behaviors through social information processing theory. That's what SIPT is. Oh, right. So, essentially, social information processing theory means that we kind of take in information about how we communicate with others in little SIPs, which is actually what makes it a very cool acronym, because it's an acronym that actually makes fucking sense and you can use when you talk about it in a class. Take little sips of your information. Just take sips of them. You don't gulp it all down at once. So basically you get these little flash bangs, I guess, of information through these comic books, and that allows you to, or allowed the readers in this case, the students, to be more aware of sort of the personalities of different characters and their roles and their ethics was part of it as well, by just getting these little bits of comic book interaction rather than through a book or film. And also, this is actually my research that I'm interested in. I don't have a lot of data. I don't have any data, actually. That's fair. I don't have any data to back this up. But because comic books are easier to spoil than films, and I think that they are, or books. So for spoilers, what I mean is that, to give away the ending. With a book, you have to actually read something, and reading is hard, okay? With a movie, you have to watch a scene, watch it all play out. With a comic book, it's just one panel could spoil the entire thing, one panel. So there seems to be some information, this is the Rosenbaum and Johnson citation there, which shows that people who have lower need for cognition, which means that people who, they don't like to think too much about stuff. It doesn't make them less intelligent. Actually, the research indicates they're of equal intelligence. But then they have a lower need for cognition. They like spoilers. In fact, spoilers actually enjoy, or increase their enjoyment, of a piece of media. So I'm really interested to study that, if the ability to spoil comics has anything to do with higher low need for cognition and higher low need for affect. Oh, this is a really cute picture. What makes sequential art unique? Induces motivation and passion, that Norton 2003 piece found that when people read comic books, they got really, about a social issue, they got really involved about it. Hey, now that goes both ways, because that can be detrimental as well if you're motivating people about something stupid. Recognize characters and roles may enhance critical thinking. Oh, this piece, yeah, Danielson and Kruzmark, 2014. This was an interesting study. It essentially just said that, when people were able to recognize, and I think this actually included English as a second language speakers, that when they were able to recognize the roles as good or evil, as hero or villain, it actually made them think. They had higher critical thinking. Kind of stuff, studies like this, a lot of times what they do is they throw a barrage of studies or of surveys, at people of instruments to like measure a lot of different things. And when you go in and you go into the statistical analysis and you find some weird fucking correlation show up, you go like, well, we're now publishing this study on that correlation we weren't expecting. But yeah, it's neat. Oh, and this is really cool, is that the use of body language and body language imagery is relatively universal, not entirely. For example, a smile in some countries is considered hostile. A wave is sometimes considered hostile, things that in US culture and our body language, we would consider, positive things can mean something else. But, again, for ESL learners and other people like this, or for people, young children as well, it's fairly easy to understand what a character means through their body language. We don't need words. Again, this goes back to the, stained glass type of thing, to the cave paintings. Words aren't necessarily needed when you can convey your meaning through body language. So, yeah, it's just neat. It's cool to be able to teach people through comics. So these are my questions. I'll look at the chat in a second. But, because these are my questions that I have, that I can't answer because I haven't had the ability or the resources to research them. I don't like the fact that, how stupid is it for me to have set up a panel where at the end I actually put in a future research section. That's how you write a research paper. That's not how you're supposed to do a panel. Fuck. Okay, so narrative transportation in comics, film, and literature. This is actually an area that hasn't been studied, to my shock. It's something I could do really easily. I just haven't done it yet. I just need to fucking file with the Institutional Review Board and get this shit going, because it should be really easy to study this. So narrative transportation, I think I talked about it once. But narrative transportation, which has a terrible instrument to measure it. There are new instruments now, but the common one is really, really bad. The instrument, whatever, okay. My narrative transportation means how much do you feel like you're inside a piece of media? Like, have you ever watched you're watching a horror movie, and you're like, man, I feel like I'm in the situation. I'm terrified because I feel like I'm there. Or you're reading Harry Potter and you feel like you're in Hogwarts or whatever, you feel like you're there. That's narrative transportation, to be literally transported into the work of media. Now, we haven't really analyzed how narrative transportation works differently across comics, film, and literature. We've looked at it in film, we've looked at it in literature, but we've never done a comparison. That work needs to be done. I'll probably do it. So there's this thing called cognitive flexibility, which is basically like how much you can think about different things at the same time, because we're all terrible at multitasking. However good we think we are, all the research indicates that humans are terrible at multitasking. We are not designed to do it. But we do have cognitive flexibility in terms of how we can move around from different things in our brain. And I'm interested in how to measure someone's cognitive flexibility through a couple of testing arrays, and then looking at if they have different preferences, I should say, for comics, film, or literature. As I mentioned, need for cognition, need for affect, and then the need for entertainment in medium selection. I want to measure your need for cog and your need for affect in particular, and then I want to see whether you would prefer to read a comic book or watch a film or read a book. Anyway, I'll look at the chat right now, because those are my research questions. Shoot, where... Why is slower humping cats on future research? Yeah, I don't know. Goku and Superman would not even fight each other. They would just go hang out and get food. Goku would get ramen, and Superman would get a cheeseburger. What's my opinion on the new way getting into the industry is going? I don't know, actually. In terms of getting into the industry, I'm really not sure. I'm a little... I think that it's just difficult right now, but it's always been difficult, so... I think I'm like a second behind the chat. I've never done this before, so I'm freaking confused. Okay. Bad video settings. What? Fuck off. My favorite comic era? Oh, Dark Age, man. I love Dark Age so much. But I love like Frank Miller and that kind of stuff. But I also do, I would say, actually early 2000s were really, really good. Which was, I forget what they called that. Fucking whatever. Yeah, I really liked the early 2000s. No, before the 90s, before the pre-90s stuff, so like the late 80s, Dark Age stuff. I think the most influential comic influence. Oh, fucking okay. Well, I could go. I'm gonna go back in a second, but I'm a Superman fan. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Jeff Johns or I'm not. Okay, Loeb used to be good, but he went fucking crazy. I don't know what happened to Loeb. I could point to some other people and say, like, I know why you went fucking insane, but I don't know what happened to Loeb other than he just got. And Johns has always been like, par for the course. Most influential comic. Superman's totally the most influential in terms of Superman and Batman. Oh shit, Loeb's son did die. Fuck. No, you're right. I forgot about that. Actually, I fucking repressed that. I repressed Jeff Loeb's son dying. Man, if I repressed it, he fucking repressed that shit hard. Alan Moore is a wizard, not a meme. But is that not the same thing? I have a really... I don't know. Actually, I started to kind of get out of video games for a while, and that's why I got back into comics. And, because I don't think interactivity... So actually, one of my primary areas of research is interactivity. And it's kind of... It goes both ways. Like, sometimes it's... Yeah, Johns is fucking hard on for Hal Jordan made me so pissed because he fucking ruined Kyle over that. I'm sorry. I can't stay fucking focused. Shit. No, I don't think that, because like I said, comics have this weird cognitive thing where like you have to you have a sort of a interactive thing going on in your head where you have to, I get into it in a second here on this panel, where you have to connect the dots, and it allows you it's less cognitively straining than reading a book, because reading a book requires like all fires to be thrusting, or firing all thrusters, excuse me. You have to be thinking on every level, because you have to be thinking about what this character looks like, and as the book is describing to you what they're doing, you're playing it out in your head. Comics kind of like take a little bit of a cognitive load off, so you can relax a little bit, but it does allow for that. So it's like, you've got a bunch of processes running. This is like taking a couple off. But when it comes to the in-between portions, the relating this scene to the next scene, now you can fire on all thrusters because you've saved your energy a little bit from the previous image that was given to you. So I think that it could work both ways. I don't know. Oh my god, what was that even? What was that fucking story? I've tried to erase it from my brain. Oh my god, I really have tried to erase this. What was that terrible event with Hal Jordan where he... Oh no, fucking Arissa, dude. Yeah, don't talk about Johns and Green Lantern. I've tried to repress that. Pretty much all of like the early 90s to mid 90s Green Lantern shit after they brought back Hal Jordan is like, can I please pretend? Parallax, thank you. Can I please pretend this didn't happen? I wanted him to be evil. I didn't want Parallax to be a fucking space, I don't know, evil thing. But, that just possessed Hal Jordan. That's not fair. I wanted Hal to be just a total dick. That was way more interesting. The Green Lantern movie, yes. Well, that was certainly one. Let me go back to my thing. I think I got most of it. And I don't know why. I just found this cute picture of Thor riding the cat, because he said that in the movie. It was the only thing I liked about that movie. Oh, my fucking, my OTP that doesn't exist anymore. So I talked a little bit about this, but to get more in depth, this is multimodality. So multimodality, and there's a lot of things about how comic books work. So multimodality is a fancy way to say the use of, another fancy thing, several semiotic modes in the design of a semiotic product or event, together with the particular way in which these modes are combined. What the fuck does that mean? It basically means having words and art. That's all it means, is that, like, again, film is a sequence of images very quickly with, audio, dialogue, and sounds, whereas books are just words. And comic books combine that. They also combine in the other types of modalities, such as the flipping of a page is considered part of multimodality. It's very different to flip a page in a comic book than to flip a page in a book, in a written, totally, piece of literature, because you flip a page in a book, you might not see a spoiler, for example. You're not going to immediately be hit in the face with the images on the next page. And in a film, you're just seeing these constant flow of images. So yeah, as I said, basically that's multimodality. But what comics do is they take this snapshot of images of a scene. So it's like a movie, but you just take a snapshot, and then sometimes you add text or dialogue to these snapshots. But as I've been talking about, you're forced cognitively in your brain to fill in the blanks. What happens between these two scenes? And if you ever see a really poorly made comic, and you're like, what is happening? It's because there's some disconnect either between the writing or the images that's not allowing your brain to easily fill in the blanks. But yeah, comics are neat because they allow for multiple methods of both showing and telling. And then this microdictionary of gestures, I think this is from Will Eisner's book. Yeah, it is. And it gives you an idea of, again, these are like, how you can just see a very simple gesture or a way that a character is standing and understand emotion. Now, again, doesn't work for everyone from every culture, but in Western culture, generally speaking, this makes sense. So these are a little bit some more stuff of the techniques that get used in comic books. So this one is hypercompression. You do not see this very often anymore, although I have a Watchmen page, so 9 panel total breakdown, and look at all the fucking text. So much text, giving so much information, and not just in the text, like even in the pages or in the art as well. So much information is being conveyed in one page. You saw this a lot in the Silver Era, so that would have been, the CCA era, the Comics Code Authority era, and the Age of the Marvel Method, where if you believe Jack Kirby, Stan Lee would come into his office with a post-it note on it that said, fucking Fantastic Four fights Doctor Doom, fucking draw it, Kirby, you motherfucker, I'm gonna go bang your wife. That is essentially what Kirby says happened. You can take that with a grain of salt, but because he was fucking his wife. Stan Lee was fucking Jack Kirby's wife, probably. So yeah, you can take his hatred of the man with a grain of salt, but hey, that was essentially why, and because what would happen afterwards is that Jack Kirby would draw 24 pages of Fantastic Four fights Doctor Doom, and then Stan Lee would write fill in the blanks. If you want evidence of how obvious it is that this is what happened, because I know that people say, no, it's not what happened, go read a Spider-Man comic. Now, that would have been Ditko and not Kirby, but you go read a Spider-Man comic from that era, and Spider-Man talks to himself. He constantly talks to himself. It's like Stan Lee is trying to figure out what's happening in the comic by explaining it to himself. It really, really comes off as like he's just looking at these images that have no words on them, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Let me just explain it to myself. I could be wrong, but that's how it comes off. Yeah, but you don't see this hypercompression stuff. This a lot of wordiness explaining what's happening on the page, being very dense. This is, you don't see much of this anymore. Except, Bendis kind of does this. But that's just being wordy, not hypercompression. Bendis does I put Bendis in here, but that was the wrong thing. Decompression is like this image where you don't have any words. Or you'll sometimes see this in comics where it's like the same character, just the same panel 3 times over. And it's supposed to be to represent that a long period of time a lot of time is occurring. You see this a lot in manga, and a lot of Western comics have really adopted this recently to, I said Bendis, but what I meant to say was, what's his name? Invincible. Kirkhope? No. What's his name? Shit. Invincible and Walking Dead. He does this. He's really, really guilty of doing this bad decompression shit, particularly in Invincible. And to the fact where he's made fun of himself for doing it in Invincible to stretch the page length without purpose. I said Bendis, but that's not who I meant. I'm fucking dumb. This is kind of an interesting little bit. I did a lot of research a couple years ago now, and I tend to update it when I can, which is about mangaka who read comics and what it's like to be a Western comic book fan in Japan, and I do the vice versa as well. So if you live in Japan, you can buy comic books. They do have them at very large bookstores. Will carry about 50 or so translated trades. They make up about 1% of manga sales. and they are much more expensive. So 2 to 3,000 yen versus 1,000 for general tankobon. But various mangaka have worked on comics, and that's sort of what I find interesting. Just don't go to Japan expecting to be able to read comic books easily. As far as I know, this is still the only comic book shop in Japan. It's Blister in Tokyo. They, from what I've heard them say, and this was from a blog entry, so this is, you know, like not necessarily super, there's no statistics behind this, in other words, is that the solo books are less popular than team books. So stuff like Power Pack tends to be really popular when Power Pack was a little bit bigger. X-Men, and then, yeah, this is old now, so that Batman, Spider-Man didn't, Amazing Spider-Man and Dark Knight Rises both performed poorly at box office. Avengers was the biggest summer blockbuster in 2012, but Deadpool was the only #1 comic film in 2016. So, it's a struggling industry there. They don't have, I think that a lot of Japanese people like characters like Spider-Man and Batman as pop culture icons more than as actual characters. And if you guys know, I do gloss over it, but there have been some anime. This is just an example of Kinokuniya. There are Kinokuniya in the US, in the West Coast and in New York, I think, actually. It's a bookstore chain. This is just an example of a Kinokuniya in Japan and their selection. We're not gonna watch this. Nope. Okay. This is neat. So these are a bunch of Gainax artists who drew their favorite superhero characters. I really have to point out on the left-hand side, this Next Wave Agents of Hate. Whoa, looks a lot like Gurren Lagann. And it makes me, I should go get my Next Wave book right now. I love Next Wave. It's one of my favorite things ever. My favorite books. Should have gone on for longer. Actually, no, it probably was good it died when it did. But Next Wave is a great book, and I love how much that looks like Gurren Lagann. Also, that Power Pack art's really cute, too. So these are some Japanese creators that work in the West. Oh, I used that Sana Takeda art for my last video, for that Miss Marvel thing. Yeah, I forgot that was Sana Takeda. But if you haven't read I Killed Giants, it is... Oh my god. Joe Kelly. Fantastic. If you want to cry and have a nice, long, good, healthy cry, read I Killed Giants, illustrated by Ken Nimura, Japanese-American artist. Sana Takeda is a female Japanese woman who works for Marvel. Stan Sakai has been working on Usagi Yojimbo for fucking like 30 years at this point, forever. Really good story though, if you're into, like, it's such a mix of things, of drama, but also quirkiness and being entertaining. I can't really describe Usagi Yojimbo other than just read it. Goody Hero is a group of Japanese artists who work on a lot of things. They did like AVX Babies, they do Power Pack, they did that art there. You can see them all over the place. They're really prolific. I mentioned most of this, so I go over this page really quickly, actually. I think I need to just delete this page. Whatever, other than fucking American artistry, cartoons, and and comics had a big influence on Japanese creators. But it has gone both ways. Japanese comics are very Japanese. They may have been influenced initially, but they're very distinct. And as I have been over, they have their own history. So... oh, here we go. Manga to comics. This is the other way around. So most of this is embarrassing. Udon is a Canadian-based group that does a lot of the Street Fighter comics. And they have a very manga style, I guess you could say. The other two things that are here, I think, are both dead. I think Amekomi is dead, or whatever it's called. But Marvel Mangaverse or Marvel Tsunami are both dead. It was... this time period where Marvel thought, like, hey, if we call this a manga, we'll get the kids to read. Unfortunately, the thing that's pictured there is a comic book called Runaways that's fucking amazing. And it was the best thing to come out of it. And then Amekomi Kami or whatever was a thing DC did for a while, where they were just going to redesign their characters to be weeaboo friendly, and the designs were all pretty much bad. Some were okay, but mostly they were bad. Oh, Just Lone Wolf and Cub has had an enormous influence on people like Frank Miller in terms of... What I want to say is that it goes both ways. We've influenced the Japanese in terms of their manga, but they've certainly influenced the shit out of us. So, yeah. Have comics affected manga and back and forth. Okay, so some of these things are... I usually do this panel with my ex-best friend. She hates me now because I voted for Trump. And... ooh, she really hates me. So some of these ones I don't know as well as others. This one, for example, I started reading this manga, but I haven't gotten very far. She's the real big fan of it. But apparently Keyman is like a really, it has a lot to do with superhero tropes and also sort of film noir from the entire thing. I haven't read it all again. This is better for her to discuss. These are just, the whole point of this is that, like, hey, if you like comics and you want to read manga, I'll talk about the ones I know. This is also one I don't know because she reads this one or read this one. I have never read this, but she assures me it's very good. It's a Korean webcomic. Oh, and I do talk about that a little bit. Korean webcomics, you want to talk about interactiveness and multimodality. Korean webcomics are now adding a new, and not just Korean ones, but all webcomics are adding new layers of interactivity and multimodality into comic books. Because, and can you even call them a comic book anymore? What is it at this point? It's still sequential art. But to look at, so I'm a big Homestuck fan, as I know that's very depressing and a really hard thing to say. Well, I was a Homestuck fan. and like, including Flash games and stuff like that into a comic, well, that really changes, like, every definition. And for a lot of these Korean webcomics, they do have some kind of HTML interactivity involved in them, and it's neat. Or movement or something that sort of transcends what we typically think of as sequential art. Anyway, I don't know anything about this, sorry. Everyone knows OPM. OPM takes a lot of influence, I would say, on some levels, from Western comics. But it's the same thing where it's so unique and it's got so much of both. But yeah, I guess the basic premise, OPM, is a little bit of a Western superhero type topic, or type title, I mean. Excuse me. Tiger and Bunny, I miss. I love that show. It's the superhero reality TV show. It's good. I like that a lot. Actually, I wish that there are a lot of superhero comics that have actually dealt with themes of, like, single parenthood, but, like Ant-Man, and you don't see that as much in stuff as comics have grown up since the end of CCA. There's not all manga, but I feel like there's some themes that don't get touched, and like things like single fatherhood are one of those themes that you don't see all the time. I just put this in here because I like this comic. I actually found it because I was looking at porn and I was like, oh, the story is really good. This is a porn comic, guys, sorry. But it has a bunch of superhero references in it. I'm so embarrassed now. But it's a really good story. The whole story is that he gets the power to, and anytime he touches somebody, he makes them really horny. Fuck, now you have to get away from this. Okay. So, these are sort of like this is an art trade between, Takahashi Kazuki and, Mike Mignola. So Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, if you've ever seen that movie, which is great, and the comic, which is great. So this is their art trade, with Hellboy wearing a Yu-Gi-Oh t-shirt, and conversely, Hellboy playing Yu-Gi-Oh with a really fucking badass, I forget what those are called, the dual glove or whatever. This is a kind of little known one. It used to be more well known in the 90s, but I think people forgot about it. So Yasuhiro Naito, the guy who made Trigun, he's a huge Spider-Man fan. And if you remember this character from Trigun, his name is Monev, which is just Venom spelled backwards. And if you take a look at reverse the colors on his face, the purple and the red, and you'll see, like, the spider symbol. So, it's clearly a homage. Kiya Asamiya, who did Martian Successor Nadeshiko and Silent Mobius, has also worked on Batman Child of Dreams, which is a novel, and has also worked on X-Men, both in art and in writing, I believe. So that's kind of just neat. I like when shit like that happens. Oh yeah, even Katsushiro Otomo, and the creator of Akira, wrote a story for Batman Black and White, which is a collection of short stories. It is actually a comic, too. That one's not a novel. Oh, I love Tsutomu Nihei, because Blame is amazing, and also the Wolverine Snicked book that he worked on was pretty neato. So if you like Blame, check out Wolverine Snicked. That's a little old now. Where are we? Oh, I think I'm done. Oh. The 12 Revolutions. So this is, Scott McCloud's Reinventing Comics. He came up with, so this is 2000, quite old now. But he came up with these 12 revolutions that comics are going to go through. Comics as literature, comics as art. I think they're both. The rights of creators, as I mentioned in my video, creators have been kind of fucked. The people who made Superman died pretty much destitute. And a lot of creators have gotten totally dicked out of their rights. Now, when they signed their contracts in 1930, it didn't seem like they were getting dicked, but in, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, as those characters became enormous, it was obviously an issue. Industry innovation, I don't remember what he was talking about specifically, but there are changes that the industry is going through. Not just talking about social justice bullshit. The move to digital has been a huge thing. Public perception is something that is changing. I think when I started doing this panel, so 10 years ago now, people I would talk to had the people who I would talk to who are not already comic book readers would have one or two opinions towards comic books. Either they were anime fans and they hated comics because they thought they were lame or whatever, or they were not either. They weren't bigoted, I guess, towards them, and they just thought it's for little kids because it's all superheroes. It's very stupid. It's not art. It's not literature. And I think that's changing. Marvel movies being huge, and with Christopher Nolan's Batman being so huge, that's kind of changing stuff. Institutional scrutiny. They certainly need to be more self-policing. Now, he talks about gender balance. I don't think he's right. I mean, I guess there's more male characters, but it's not a fucking big issue. And as I said, if the character is not good, I don't care what fucking gender they are. They're not good. If it's a good character and they're female, they're a good character. It has nothing to do with the fucking shit between their legs. I mean, it could, but generally speaking, it doesn't need to. Same with minority representation. Diversity of the genre is something that has changed. With Image Comics and third-party publishers, we're seeing a lot of new stuff that we would not have seen 10 years ago, and we didn't see 10 years ago. Again, digital production, that I mentioned, digital delivery, digital comics, and as I mentioned, something that's not in McLeod's 12 Revolutions is the idea of multimodality with webcomics. What the fuck is that going to do to this industry? Just questions. They're not answers. They're just questions. Also, this is art from one of my favorite webcomics called Stand Still, Stay Silent, which is a webcomic about what if the entire world was eviscerated, essentially. The new center of the known world would likely become Iceland, because Iceland is a self-sufficient sort of utopia. I mean, in that they have this fucking asshole. God damn it. Iceland is self-sufficient in terms of their power production because of their thermal power. And it's just kind of neat that the entire world ends up speaking Icelandic and and being based around the capital of the world, Reykjavik. I like that. But yeah, webcomics, they're updated daily or at random intervals, and that's much different from Western comics in particular. Japanese comics tend to be on an either weekly, if it's shown in Jump, or monthly basis, and Western comics almost always on a monthly basis. But webcomics, some people upload multiple times a day. Again, including HTML, Flash, animation, all kinds of shit. And that they can be profitable on their own right, much like YouTube. They don't need to be beholden to any masters. They can just advertise on their page and make money, allow creators to be their own bosses. So I don't know. This is just questions. I'll stop in a second. We're almost done. What is the future of the industry when it comes to webcomics? Are they the future? Are they just a new permutation? What are they? Yeah, I'm done. That's it. If you want to fucking learn about comics, read that 1994 citation, Scott McCloud, Understanding Comics. Basically, everyone I know who knows anything about comic books says that's the place to start. And yeah, I'm done. That's my fucking thing. I'll try to edit it, but let me go back here. So, yeah. Well, it was actually short. I came in under time. So I'm back. Oh, the porn comic? It's called Sweet Guy. It's actually really good. It's like, you come for the porn, but you stay for the story. I've certainly heard of that. Let me see if I've read this. I know I've heard of it. Oh, Fist of the North Star. Fuck my ass. Dude, my fucking Japanese has gotten so bad that I can't fucking do anything right now. I used to hate digital. I used to not be able to read it at all. And now I'm okay with it. it was the same thing with books. Like, I used to really hate the idea of audiobooks because I was like, I'm not reading. Stupid. And now I like it. Now I'm like, okay with audiobooks and with digital comics. There's something definitely nice about... I love JoJo's. Oh yeah, JoJo's is a great example of... Because Araki definitely takes as much influence as he takes from rock or, 80s pop bands. He also certainly takes a lot, I think, from, like, Western comics. Yeah, sure, Ben. Contact me on Twitter and DM me, and yeah, sure. We can talk comics. I'm always down to. I'm actually kind of out of them right now. It's been sort of sad. I've been so... I've been, like, so upset by comics for such a long time. I guess Marvel really killed me. Because I haven't read a Marvel comic actively. Actually, you know what it was? I picked up Mockingbird, because I was like, oh man, I'm so excited. My favorite character's getting an ongoing. I'm gonna read this shit. I'm gonna actually come back to Marvel Comics for the first time in years, because all I've been reading is Image. And, damn. They ruined it. Do I have thoughts on Homestuck? Yeah, I love the first 2 issues, too. It was after that, I was like, what? Like, what's this feminist stuff? I've got them right here, like, they're within... What am I reading right now? I'm reading Descender, I'm reading Low. What else? Monster's great. My thoughts on Homestuck, though. I loved Homestuck up until... Oh, I'll say, actually, up until Act 6. I liked Homestuck. I loved Homestuck, actually. And then it just got really boring. Yeah... Did he really make that statement? Fucking slut. Like, I don't hate Slut as much as some people do, because I did not actually hate Superior Spider-Man as much as most people did. I didn't like it, but I didn't fucking hate it. The whole idea that, like, Jesus. Favorite manga anime. Problem Sleuth is way better. So is, what is it? Bard's Tale? No, it's been forever. Homestuck no, it wasn't at first. It used to be really irreverent and not SJW, and then Hussey, the guy who wrote it, he kind of, like, got bullied into some of it. Like, for example, there was a line really early on where somebody calls this character, Bro, a lame white guy who raps, and then, like, the stupid SJWs who were obsessed with it, they got so upset over the idea that he was described as white, even though they're literally the color white. All the characters are literally page blank white. They got so mad that someone called him a white guy that they had that Hussey basically had to change the word for a while, so it just was like a garbly-gook word. And because the idea of him being officially literally white upset people. I have a picture. I should probably post it at some point because it doesn't have my face in it. But I have a picture of the day that I discovered that I liked Homestuck. I was dressed like a wild berry Pop-Tart. By that I mean I was wearing like a blue and purple and gray outfit, and I looked like a wild berry Pop-Tart, and I have my head like buried in a pillow crying, realizing that I enjoyed Homestuck for the first time. This is like 2010, so it's forever ago. Yeah, Slot can write whatever he wants exactly, yeah. I actually don't... Okay, look, I don't care who they ship anyone in DC with. But, with one exception, Trinity shipping is illegal. Yeah, Slot's been writing... Slot's been writing Spidey for like 10 years. But yes, Trinity? Oh my god, I'm fucking... Goddamn. Trinity shipping is illegal, or should be. It should actually be illegal to Trinity ship. Oh, they did that with something else, too, with somebody not being yellow. I forget what it was. I just saw that. Dang it. I saw something... Trinity shipping is shipping Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman in any combination. You don't do that. It's a no-no. Phew. Homestuck is really good until the end. I remember I had my first job. I don't like soups and 1E together. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not supposed to happen. It's like, it's a taboo, you know? But no, Homestuck is really good until the very end. And by that, well, see, it wouldn't be the very end for you, because if you read it now, Act 6 is incredibly long. When you get to Act 6, just stop. Just stop. It's so bad after that point. Well, so my only issue actually with, shoot! Peter David wrote it, I think. What's that really good comic I like? Dang it. Oh my gosh. It's not Earth X. What is it? Not the opposite of Earth X, the DC version of that. Dang it. Come on. I just rebought it too because I couldn't find my trade. Oh, now I gotta go get it. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, it wasn't Peter David, it was Mark Waid, and it was Kingdom Come. You were correct. Yeah, I didn't like, this is the only thing I don't like about that comic, because it's got that great Alex Ross art, but I don't like that Trinity shipping. Well, normally I am, too. Again, it's just like, I'll take a picture of it, maybe. I have this amazing long box that is custom made, that has all of, it's just lock and key all over the sides, and it's my long box that I don't actually fill with floppies. I fill it with trades because it's my fucking most valuable possession on the planet. Well, actually, and I pulled it out the other day because my real most valuable possession is I have a trade of Justice League International that's signed by every single one of the creators. So that's it. I liked Logan a lot. I hate X-23 too as a character, generally speaking. I would like her much more if she was literally female Wolverine in terms of the comics. If she was just like a flannel-wearing dyke who smokes cigars all the time and just like picks up big fat women aggressively, I would love that. That would be. I would read every X-23 comic if that's what she was like. But I really liked Logan. It reminded me more of Last of Us than, because I was like, when I went into it, I was expecting old man Logan, and I was like, are we gonna go on a really cool adventure with blind Hawkeye? Fine. X-63. Yeah. Hey, I would like that. But Cass Kane's actually interesting, and I don't think X-23 is. Cass is actually interesting because she can't speak, so she's interesting. And her learning English and her learning how to do anything other than read body language is really neato. Yeah, that would be neat if they modeled her after Karen Strong. I don't mind that she's Asian. Her background is already stupid. It's like she's a clone of Wolverine, but a woman for reason. I haven't seen the new Samurai Jack. I've seen clips from it. I have been kind of avoiding it because I know I'm gonna fall in love with Jack being all depressed and tragic, and I don't need that in my life. Oh, I forget what the fuck his name is. I got a picture. Shit, what the fuck is his name? If I was a mutant, what would your powers be? I have a character that I made, I'll bring it up. Hang on, I gotta access my old hard drive because I am working off of a, like, what would you call this? Jerry-rigged sort of situation right now where I have, well, for example, right now Windows is telling me it's not genuine, but, get in there. Shoot. Yeah, I have an OC Do Not Steal. Not really, I was just like something I made a long time ago and I thought it was neat. Let's see. Whoops, let's not find weird things. Where would it be? Hang on, you guys can see my really horrible... This is how I manage my stuff. It's just all in a great big mess folder. Where the heck is it? I know it's in this folder. Oh, here it is. Open, you motherfucker. Here's my OC Do Not Steal. My mutant character. But I think she had a different reason, but if I was an X-Men, I would just be this character. Or I'd want to be. Yeah. Well, I love Daredevil, so it's the same fucking thing. Yeah, I think there is a lot of Frank Miller inspiration in Samurai Jack. Hipster Dazzler! Bring up Phil Lamar. Hipster Link, Hipster Dazzler. I don't know. Now I'm upset. Which one? I'm not blonde either. I dyed my hair blonde once when I was a teen. It was terrible. It was not a good look. Not a good look. I think it's a cool thing. My OC Do Not Steal. Other than that, I don't think I have. I think I made another one, but I don't know where it is. I thought I had another character that I made. Oh, here it is. This was there's a website that you can go to. Well, it's just like powers.wiki or whatever. And you can just roll for superpowers. And I got, for this character, it was, Inuit deity physiology or something. And I was like, that's fucking sweet. So I made this character that had, like, water manipulation and Inuit deity physiology. Neat. I like it. You can, I mean, there's nothing pornographic in this folder, so you can go through it. It's just weird stuff. It's weird. It's not interesting. Oh, I came up with a really good idea for what stand I have, and now I can't remember. Oh, because, that fat girl's ass. Oh, I think it's probably, what's her name? Pixie Terry. Oh, wait, hang on. That might have been, fuck. DJ Henry Yoshi, yes. Oh, now I'm lost. See, this part's all gonna get cut out when I re-upload this. Oh my god. What was I talking about, though? Oh, shoot. Oh, my stand power. Oh, because my favorite band is Metric. Alt F10? What did I do? Oh, shit, I'm probably behind. I'm not Shadbase. No. Shoot. What was I gonna... Now I'm fucking lost. Dang it. Oh, my favorite band is Metric, and they, there's a song called, Calculation Theme, and my stand would be, it would be a support stand, and I would do, like, just statistical analysis of, like, how likely the probability is of something, because that would really go along with my personality and my profession and my love of music, so. You mean Cloak and Dagger? What? What version of Hawk and Dove was based off of Rush? I don't know enough Rush songs. Moonman Israel. Yeah, basically every Pillows song. I haven't listened to the Pillows in so long. Maybe I will today. Woo, when did that fucking happen? Well, I mean, there have been so many. That's another. You know what? I didn't bring up Hawk and Dove because there have been so many different versions of them, and like nobody gave a shit. I didn't even bring them up, but that's a really good another example of characters that have been other characters under that title. Well, really only Dove. Yeah, the pillows are fucking great. I had no idea that happened with Hawk and Dove, though. That's horrible. I'm probably true neutral, or I like to think I am, in terms of my alignment. That I think everyone, well, maybe not everybody. Oh, jeez. Wow. Who is the best Deadpool and why is it written by Joe Kelly? Cable and Deadpool, I really hate Way. I really hate him. He almost Lawful Good almost I like to role play as Lawful Good, but I'm really true I'm pretty true neutral. I like to role play as Lawful Good though, but I'm too much of a pansy for it, honestly. It requires you to have a little bit more, maybe, mental conviction than I believe I really possess. I'd like to be. Trying to get my soda open. I don't know. I like to be good. I'm definitely not evil in any way. I'm either true neutral or maybe chaotic good. No, as a paladin, I can't. I do tend towards lawful good. Like I said, in my heart, I want to be lawful good. Oh, Andromeda, AD&D is the best. 2. Anything above 2 is no thanks. But if I had to choose, 3.5. My pronouns. Laws. What would it be? Paladin? I don't know. For, like, pronouns. Oh, there's a lot of issues with Andromeda. Well, I could... Do I have the file, actually? Like, you can see. Like, here's the video I'm not working on right now. Not that. That's just a page of nothingness. You can see the research has been done. It's the writing that has not. So it's trying to find out how to turn that into a video. Lost heresy. Yeah. I don't actually drink Sody Pop. It's seltzer. It's orange grapefruit Aquafina sparkling seltzer. 0 calories, 0 sweeteners. Everything about the logistics of Andromeda makes no sense. First of all, this is... Okay, so this happens at the end of Mass Effect 2, that this happens, that they all decide to leave on a little arcs. At this point, nobody believes that the Reapers are coming. They have no reason to believe it, because Mass Effect 3 hasn't happened yet. And yet they're still leaving in this technology that is greater than the technology that's shown in Mass Effect. It's this incredibly advanced technology that I do think supersedes or goes above what we saw in the original Mass Effect trilogy. So they're in this incredibly advanced shit that was built in what? A couple of years, according to their bullshit? Yeah, here's what I think. And I'm gonna step on my own video and ruin my own joke. Because I'm about 100% positive that what they did is that Yep, is that the Citadel, the council decided, why don't we take all of the gays and the retards and we put them on a ship and send them 700 years away so they won't be able to contact us. And they put them on the ship and they waved goodbye as all of the autistics and gays all left the gene pool. That's what I think they did. And no, I don't love communism. I hate communism. A colony of autists looks like Mass Effect Andromeda. I made my character. Do I have the video? Where did I put it? Oh. I actually played for a while, too. I got the 10-hour-long thing. I don't know. I don't think you would go into the arc for being gay. I think you would go into the arc if you were autistic and gay. Well, I have pictures of my old See, this is why I can prove it now, since I'm on stream and I'm not going to upload this. I can prove it that... there's... Hang on, where did I put it? Shit, there's fucking shit everywhere. Yeah, you can see how organized I am. I know I have this picture here. Oh, here it is. Here is my character. I replayed Mass Effect last year, and I played the same character I played when I was... when I first played Mass Effect, so you can tell how really angry I am that you can't be a white person in Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh, that was just from the end, but yeah, I think, and then I had one from the Citadel DLC, I think. Yeah, because this made me laugh a lot. Oh yeah, that was the point. I was gonna go get that file. Yeah, the faces are better. I loaded it up the other day, and they are actually a lot better. Honestly, okay, I'll admit it. I bought Mass Effect Andromeda, but hey, I got it on a really good deal. Oh, it's Altana Volt. Altana is the goddess of light and life in Final Fantasy XI. And oh, speaking of which, there's a nice picture. Oh, fun. I made myself laugh too much. Temmie is Tem. Oh, sorry, I moved away from my mic a little bit, but this isn't correct. Where is it? Oh, this is correct. Where did I put my file? Oh, that's it. Sorry, this is a new install, so it's gonna do shit like... Okay, what can load an FLV file? Nothing. Neat. What's the player called? What's the... Shoot. This is really fun, isn't it? This is like neato. You get to watch me install shit. I'm really... Oh, I get rid of my email. Huh. No, this was a funny article. I'm really entertaining, I'm sorry. In terms of Monday Matt, I don't actually think he does a lot of the shit that he does on purpose when he's hypocritical. I don't know. I have not read any crossovers. Fucking, what are you doing in here, my son? How did you get into this chat? My actual son is here. That's weird. The Hunter x Hunter artist almost dies every other month, dude. You know he's married to Naoko Takeuchi, aka the creator of Sailor Moon. I would also die probably every week if I was married to her. It's a big responsibility. I love Hunter x Hunter. It's like my favorite ongoing big comic. Typical fucking normie. Yeah, as a comic, it's terrible what happened to the anime, Yu Yu Hakusho. It got real fucking screwed. My son's seen my folder of loots, actually, probably. Comics I would suggest for normies, actually, yes, very specifically, I will. We go down here to Excelsior, a beginner's guide to comics. We'll go right here, and yes, I will. This is another panel I do with a lot of other people. It's always a different people, so the roster changes. Come on, don't you fucking do this shit. Where's... What happened? Did I do this thing? Can it run this now? I can't fucking tell what happened. Did this finish? Yes. Okay. Didn't it work then? Yeah. Get the fuck out. Okay. Oh, what is this? This isn't the traffic cone. I don't know what to think about that. Oh. The fuck? I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. Okay. Yeah. What? Okay. I'm sorry. God, this is awful. I'm really not good when I have to reinstall shit. Fuck me. Where is it? I don't even... I'm almost about to give up because I'm really dumb right now and I feel really stupid. Oh, shit. Is it VLC I want? Okay. I don't know why I thought FLV. I smoked a little bit of the herb, if you know what I mean. I thought oh, VLC, right. I did it again. Shit, I don't know why I thought that. I also really like Aquaman. I'm actually a really big Aquaman fan. No, I'm not paying you shit, nigga. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I did mean this. Not fuck. Where does the thing go? Okay. Yep. Fine. Fug. I really like. Yeah, I do really like Aquaman. I actually really like Sword of Atlantis and Time and Tide. That kind of shit was awesome. It's unfortunate. I like Mara too, but it's unfortunate that he gets kind of put into this category of being so lame, or then the reboot with New 52 that made him like super edgy. I didn't like that either. I kind of like it in the middle. I have not read the most recent Aquaman. I did like New 52 Aquaman, because I think that it got shit over the first issue where he said the thing about the fish, and he was like, I don't talk to fish, I fucking control them, or whatever, and I was like, well, I think you guys are being a little bit too ridiculous. I actually liked it overall. It was what happened with a lot of things in the New 52, where I liked it up to like a year later, and then they started to change the teams around, the writing teams, I mean. It was like Animal Man and Swamp Thing, which were great. Then Rot World happened. Then it wasn't great. Yeah, I totally read all the terms and conditions. I don't know about that, though. I read those two, and it looked sketch. Okay. Yeah, Medusa is a character who has so much potential that's never used. Okay. Oh, yay. Onito. I don't talk in this, so I'll talk over it. Whatever. And you can see my process. Fucking long-ass loading time. I was just going through, like, because at the time when I recorded this, I've been working on this BioWare video for, like, a month, because I want to just talk about the... Fuck off, it is! Just about how BioWare has become such shit. And it's not necessarily their fault, directly, it's EA's fault. And at the time, nobody knew, well, people knew, but it hadn't been as highly or widely publicized that every character was black in terms of the customizable characters. Because I got this copy early from the, what was it? The store thing. You could pay $5 and basically get an early copy of the game. So I thought this little black girl was a cutie, and I was like, well, you're the only one that doesn't look disgusting, even though you've got that really gross fucking lipstick, but we have already established that I like the brown ladies, and my shepherd was a black lady, spotting that, like, Season 4 Teal'c Stargate SG-1 blonde soul patch thing going on, except for she had blonde hair. That's the level of being convoluted. Actually, I think this isn't... Because I actually tried to make her look attractive. Not that... See the skin? Ugh. Like, if you turn it up on light, it looks so gross. And then I couldn't even give her blonde hair because it looked really bad. Did I actually, though? I might have. Done it anyway. I don't remember. I didn't really change anything. Like I said, I thought she looked okay. I thought she had the only decent looking face in terms of its structure. The rest of them, like, looked like goblins. This is boring. I gave her a scar, because that's cool. Yeah, look at, like, ugh. It's like, ugh. I guess you look, I don't know, like Croatian or something. Not Croatian, like, Turkish, I guess, with that, like, lighter color skin. I don't know what that would be. You can't make him blonde. It looks hideous. Anyway, I'll get to the more interesting one. Here we go. So, there's some really ugly pre-made characters, if you guys didn't know. It's the only decent-looking character. It's not his fault he's white. Like... Oh, I fucked up. I forgot to choose confirm. Or whatever. And this guy just looks like a rapist, dude. Why would you want to be him? I mean, no offense, but, like, he's got a rape face. I think I'm gonna skip again, because this is boring. You can see the kind of direction I was headed in, though, at this point. He's got uneven eyes, dude. Like, one of them is fucking lazy. Look at that shit. I didn't do that. It was like that inherently. Why is his face so lopsided? I worked very hard. You can see my, beautiful slider maxing. It's really difficult work. I amuse myself. Oh, get the fuck out of there. Yeah, it needs some fucking eyeshadow for realsies. I was really mad that you, like, couldn't turn up the tone to 100% on the eyeshadow like you can with everything else in terms of the makeup. I mean, you can't make it, like, 100% opaque. Yeah, you gonna make a real fucking glossy boy. Like, why are these things that you can choose? Like, why can you choose to give people, like, fucking reptile blush? So, or like spherical weird lipstick shit. So fucking bizarre, man. Close enough. Yeah, so you can't make it opaque. So I thought he was like a dinosaur or something, I don't know. He's got like all these scales on him. Yeah, make him look real neato. There it was. Hang on, what happened? Do I still believe white people are the biggest victims of racism? I never said that. I've never said that. Oh man, I missed a bunch of shit. Oh, we have a fucking... I did not know we had a Destiny cultist in here. That's neato. No, I did not, Emil. I'm sorry. You too, friend. You're about to go bye-bye. You're gonna go timeout so you can learn how to be a nice guy. Okay, because he's taking out the things, he's taking something that I said on Destiny's chat, wow, I actually was drunk, out of context, as, basically, like, he gives them, I don't know if he does it himself or how that works out. It does actually look, he's only on timeout, he can come back. So, he's fine. I don't fucking ban people. He's on timeout so he can learn to be nice. He can come back. What was my point? Now I'm lost. No, I'm the most pro free speech person you could ever meet. Emil, I put you in timeout. I didn't block you, ding dong. Do you understand what timeout means? It means you take a little second, you calm yourself down. It's okay. Well, you're back. Welcome back. I won't fucking do shit then. You're fine. If you want to talk about the Destiny thing, you're more than welcome to DM me on Twitter and talk about it as a fucking adult. Or you could just be here. That's fine. I just don't want to get into it because you're the little fucking cult leader there tried to ruin my life and tried to several times have my shit fucked with in a way that is not cool. Like, I don't mind hate shit on the internet. It's the fucking internet. Trust me, I understand de-individuation and toxic disinhibition more than you ever will, by far. But, hey. Oh, no, they've been doing this for a while. It's because Destiny's fans are really crazy, and they have basically nothing better to do all day than to go and do this stuff. It's honestly sad to me, considering... So I've had to get a new phone number, because I could send... Actually, right now I could upload a picture that I took. Yeah, Medicare did own his ass. That I took that had... I woke up one morning and I had 40 missed calls. There were 40 calls... Because I thought that they were fucking done. Don't listen to my debate with Destiny. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who the fuck he was. Someone on poll was like, hey, go talk to this fucking stupid SJW. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, I had no clue that his fans were insane. Destiny actually, like, you can see, in his chat that he most recently had with Sargon, he actually had his fans, he was like, hang on, and then he would wait for his fans to come and give him articles that would support whatever his viewpoint was, and then he just cites them like he knows it off the top of his head. And Naked Ape destroyed him as well. But my point is, like, as someone who is a scientist, and as someone who can give you a lot of research off the top of my head, I can tell when someone has rehearsed something or when someone knows something. And when somebody knows something, you say it like it's second thought. Like, when I cite a piece of research, I can just cite it because I know it. Like, if I cite, like, Walther 1999, it's because I fucking know Walther 1999. I've read that research. Walther, in terms of hyperpersonal model of communication, of computer-mediated communication. Fuck me. Now I just ruined my own argument. But my point is that, like, he has either, like, these memorized arguments that he just knows because he's memorized them, or he has his fans come and pull shit up for him, or he Googles stuff. John did not do anything wrong. John fell for the same trap that I did, because John thought he was going to have a conversation with this dude, who was just a dude. He didn't understand that the way that Destiny looks at human communication is like a fucking video game. And I can't tell if Ingar or Emil or whoever is a troll or not to say shit like that. Iranians are white. He does. He intentionally tries to bait people onto stream with him who he knows aren't really, thank you. Thank you, Tamal, for the Destiny is garbage, because he kind of is. And I really, what I'm actually concerned about is that after he pulled his last shit, with Sargon, where he made up a fake thing, where he, made up a fake DM between Sargon and some other guy, or Carl, whatever, and he posted about it, and I thought, well, we know that this is a terrible person who supports incest, who supports pedophilia, who supports incestuous pedophilia, who supports doxing and harassment, people getting fired from their jobs for not agreeing with him, who has supported bestiality. Did I even say that one? I don't know. It's so many things. And it's just terrible shit. And then after he went after people like Psychic Pebbles and those guys, the internet animators on Twitter. And it was like, dude, you just made yourself look fucking retarded for 2 hours in front of Sargon. It was like if I had a British dad and I was a 16-year-old commie faggot and my British dad was telling me what a big commie faggot I was. That is what it sounded like. And it was like just being schooled by your dad. Anyway, after that, he decided to attack all of these animators and be like, the animators make $250,000 a year. Oh, wow. If you look at like a video he made like a week ago, he just is so sucking his own cock. It's like, I make $250,000 a year playing video games, faggots. That's essentially what he's saying. He's sucking his own cock about how he makes so much money playing video games. And then he gets on Twitter and is like, you fucking faggot bitch, you make fucking animations, you don't deserve any money. And not understanding that not only do they not make $250,000 a year, but they don't make anywhere near that, and they do a lot of work for that. So he did that, and then as he was doing that, after they all started making fun of him because of how fucking retarded that statement was, he said to, I believe, Shadbase, why don't you draw porn of my daughter, or my son, excuse me, whatever his kid is. Why don't you draw porn of my kid? Like, trying to put his kid out there as a fucking shield. And it was really disgusting. And I thought when I was listening to him making it, or I saw him make up the tweet, towards Carl, and I said, dude, this guy's gonna watch, call me a conspiracy theorist, but watch, within the next 2 months, I would not be surprised if Carl gets, like, what is the fucking, British equivalent of the, Child Protective Services? He's gonna get CPS called on him because Destiny will do that, because he has no scruples, and he is a terrible human being. And he is so desperate to reignite shit after he got fucking destroyed by Sargon. I think he has absolutely no morals. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to do shit like that. He's a really bad guy. No, I'm really not mad. I owned up to my shit a month ago. Like, I was like, hey, I was retarded and drunk. And then, I don't care. I don't care. I see. I wasn't even high, I was just drunk. And it's like, you know, bye-bye. No, I was drunk and I was under the impression, excuse me, that I was going to have a conversation with somebody. I had no idea that he was going to be, like, doing his gish alpin bullshit. No, I just blocked him from everything. That's how I stood for his shit. He was being a fucking dick, and I was like, bye. No, I didn't. I did not do that. Okay, this is how I know you're a faggot, Destiny, just cocksucker. Because it means you didn't listen to the fucking stream. Because it's not what happened. What happened was, I had just been dumped by my boyfriend. No, fucking kill yourself. I had just been dumped by my boyfriend. I was in a very hard place. I had had a drink. And I was terrified. Because I had had a drink and I was worried I was going to get a DUI. Because what happened is the light turned green and yeah, I had a drink an hour earlier at a bar. Fucking idiot. Anyway, so the light turned green on for the turn signal, but not for the main thing. So I started to put my foot on the gas, and I hit the car in front of me, which was a regular car. I hit it at, I'm going to say, about a mile an hour. So I tapped it to the point where I didn't have to fucking pay anything. It's nothing. I didn't have to. All I had to do was, because at the time my insurance had lapsed, so I had to go to court to get my insurance shit handled. But no, the guy just happened to be an off-duty cop. And it's not because he was black. I was terrified when I found out he was a cop, but he was actually extremely nice. He was extremely nice. It actually restored my faith in cops a little bit, because he was such a cool guy. What did I just say? He was a black cop, and it restored my faith in cops being okay. I didn't know who fucking Destiny was until he decided to fuck with me. Like, I didn't know who the fuck he was. I'd never heard of him. I don't love the cops. I have a lot of issues with cops. It was Baltimore City, by the way. Yeah, I'm probably about to end then. If anyone has anything else to talk about, that's cool. But otherwise, yeah. No, I won't block people, because I don't agree in the idea of censorship. It's just kind of insane to me that it's been, what, a month now? And they're still doing this. They're still hanging around. It means they have to be following me. Like, they have to be following my shit. That's weird, isn't it? Tristage and I didn't even upload the thing that I first meant to. It just, like, stuff got so far behind, and then, I don't know. My opinions on Korea. I'm really, really against international conflict. And, yeah, well, okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted, but the thing about cops is, there's research that indicates that people who are drawn toward police work are high in something called Machiavellianism. And high Machiavellianism is a big 5 trait, right? It's a negative trait. Well, it's considered negative. And it does tend to mean that you're drawn to positions of power because you want to abuse that power. This is basic psychology. So my fear is that the people who are going to want to be cops, you're going to have basically two types of people who are drawn to this. I will provide a source. It is Big 5, isn't it? But I think Mach might be 6. What is this? This is just my fucking note thing. Where's... I don't want a test, I just want the Big 5 should be high Mach. In terms of police being drawn to it, yeah, that would take me a little bit of time, but we could go through it. This one actually doesn't, it has neuroticism, not high Mach. High Mach is actually, or I think Machiavellianism is actually measured on a different scale, a different instrument. In terms of, we could just do this right now, though. We could go to Google Scholar. Well, I'd have to log into my fucking to my school, and I don't want to do that on stream. So it would be like, you could do like high Machiavellianism, personality, police. Ice hockey. I have to find this actually, but there is a research piece on this. Machiavellianism. Attitudes towards the police. That's not it. Because I have this study. Whatever. I will find it if I can. I read it a couple years ago. But yeah. Get the fuck out of here. What was my point? Jesus. Now I'm confused. Oh shit, it's already 5 o'clock. My opinion towards Korea, though, I don't like any armed conflict. I really wish we would not be involved in anything, but Korea is a little... Kim Jong-un is a little dick who needs to be put in his place. Also, the earth is flat, and my opinion on Syria is that it was the reptiles did it. I don't know. He sure did. No, I want them to keep screaming. Like, in particular, the reason... Okay. Like, I at first didn't delete my, see, no, he's a troll. This, you can tell now. Like, stop using work if you're white. That has to be a fucking, that's obviously satire. I got you, man. Yeah, and I heard we hit ISIS with the Moab, or, massive, I forget what the fuck kind of bomb it is. Yeah, cool. I don't mind us doing that if it's gonna be fucking, if you're gonna hit fucking ISIS, go ahead and do it, but... And I guess the same thing with the air base in Syria. It was like, yeah, we probably should have done that to show that Trump isn't Obama and to, you know, kind of shake our scepter a little bit at them, but... Dang. Mother of all bombs. Is there... That's not it. It's something else. Kushner is a cuck. Dude, this guy, I think this Emil guy's playing 6D chess, 16D chess. No, I'm enjoying it because I can't, it's clear that I understand where he's coming from. He's clearly red-pilled and is doing this on purpose, and I like it. It's making me laugh. Tomahawks are racist. They're very culturally insensitive. I'm like super offensed right now. It's like 4D chess is super old. It was in Star Trek in 1967. We've been playing 4D chess for a long time. I mean, 2D chess is hard. I lose at it all the time. I actually stopped playing chess because I was so bad at it. Oh, it's those women brains. Here's a question. Are black people racist if they kill black people? Because that tends to be the case. They do have Zarbamba. Oh man, there's a bomb-ass track about that. Well, I'm worried about, as I said recently, I talked about Venezuela. Venezuela seems to be the biggest issue from what I know. I don't know if any other states in South America are having, well, I know there's problems everywhere, I guess. But, I don't know. I like tomahawks. They're fucking cool. The missiles and the weapon. The other weapon. I don't know how to make the stream waterproof. I have a radio shower, though. Or shower radio. I fucking probably was. I mean, because I've never been an SJW, but I've always been a libertarian, and I've always interacted very deeply with the left. So maybe they were just, like, putting shit in my water the entire time to make me into an alt-right experimentation. Dude, that's the whole thing. It's like, when I do get the PhD, I can trick everybody. No one will question me ever again. Depends on how you smash the tomato, if it's art. Since apparently I'm not closing the stream, I'll just look at my stuff. I'll put it over here, though, because I'll delete this later. What do we... Oh, I heard that hard drive just make a noise. The problem is I've got pictures of my cosplay, like, around about in here, and I'm a little worried about that. Oh, see, there's one. Shoot. This is actually a really boring folder. Oh, no, wait, hang on. This is a boring folder. We go in here. My Nazi fanfic. Here, I'll show you. Hang on. Here it is. I made this video game cover. It was from a random video game generator thing. There you go. What's going on with He Will Not Divide Us Season 6? Well, Teflon's seen these since he's in the chat. Hi, friend. I have other ones because I made a bunch of them. There's basically you go to, I don't know what it is. Video game name generator. This is it. I think? Yeah, this is it. And so you just get MTV's Thunder Espionage. That's lame. Cyber Godzilla gay. No. World War II Wrestling Diesel. Okay. Weary Llama 20. No. Inappropriate computer choreographer. Geriatric slime. Paranoid midget of the damned. Hitler's tank. Shit, I fucked up. Dang it. Whatever. God, fuck me. Now I made a horrible tweet that I have to delete. Watch me delete. this because I ruined it. God damn it! I was too excited and I got overstimulated. What was I gonna do now? Oh, my things. Whatever. I'll show them. Teflon's seen them, like I said. How high am I right now? I've only smoked one bowl, so it's pretty tiny. Not a lot. I was gonna do this though. Oh, so we had okay. Well, hang on. Where was I? Oh, right. So there's Third World Nazi limited edition. That's a good game. I would actually play this game. It looks really interesting. Then there's Street Chicken Hot Pursuit. I would also play this game. What else? Shoot. Well, this was actually, I didn't really have a good idea for what to do with the title Real Sloth with Friends, but I think this is about what I would expect from a game called Real Sloth with Friends. What do I think of Mike Millar? He should just change his name to Edgemaster Flex. I don't know. I thought it was, like, I realized it was basically a Hotline Miami parody after I made Street Chicken Hot Pursuit. It was an unintentional Hotline Miami thing. That one was lame. Oh, I actually forgot about the first one I made, which was this. Which was Ye Old Zombie Jihad. Allahu Akbar. I would love to see a sloth game speedrun. Ayn Rand. See, okay. Ooh. I would never talk to Steve again. I find him to be a repulsive person, and I would never wish to speak to him again. If he wants to talk to me in private, he's willing to, but other than that, I will never discuss anything with that man. He's really a terrible person. Anyway, shoot. Now, see, you know... Atlas... Okay. Oh, Ayn Rand. I actually received the Ayn Rand scholarship as part of my undergraduate education. Trans people are mentally ill. They probably need help more than they need surgery. I feel bad for them. Many of my friends are trans. Yeah, I'll talk to you, Ingar. You want to have a conversation? I've had a conversation with another Destiny fan, who I believe came out of it understanding I'm not the person you want to be harassing. I actually didn't pay for school at all. This is actually something that really made Destiny mad, speaking of which. He was very upset that I was a girl who grew up in a very impoverished background, living in a majority black city, in a majority black neighborhood, who got scholarships to go all the way through college without getting any affirmative action, only because of my grades. And I have never had to really pay for college. He really hated that. It really pissed him off. Because it doesn't fit his narrative. He does hate poor people. And yes, Mr. Anti-Vision, he was very mad. He was really pissed off. Like, it really, I could tell how much that upset him. I'm not happy with what's happened in Syria. I'm really not. Laura de Lamore. Hey, I'm glad you're in here, man. Man, I haven't followed you yet. Calm your shit. Oh, it would make sense that you have that as your fucking picture. Black Gamergate guy with comb hair? That guy T? I'll check all you guys' shit. I probably should shut this off. It's almost 2 hours and I only talked for an hour about actual shit. These fucking goddamn motorcycles. I'm gonna just pull up more shit because I'm probably gonna end this in like 5 minutes. But it's fun to talk to you guys. I haven't actually had a stream before or anything. I will upload this as an actual like finished thing, just the part where I talked about my panel. Other than that, this will go offline. It's just for us guys. And super inclusive. What the fuck? Oh, this is a good one. NBA Prison Phonics. Which is, how the fuck do I zoom in? Featuring a Spike Lee education. I hate when I make myself laugh. Get the fuck out of here. That guy T is awesome. He's actually the person I've been following longer than anyone else on YouTube. Why do I have... Well, this one is to, make fun of... What's his name? This one guy... I forget his name. He's a really bad comic artist, and he's terrible, and he used to draw pictures like this. That one's mine, my friend asked me for, of Jury. Whoops. Where? Shoot. Oh. What? I thought I had some more. Oh. Hang on. God damn it. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Tony Hawk's Mind Control Night. Dobson, yes, Dobson. Wait, what? My religious stance? I'm an Odinist. I actually wear a Mjolnir every day. I'm actually pretty, like, I'm not, people, okay. You tell people that you're an Odinist, you're a, Ace or whatever you want to call it, and they get really upset and they think, yeah, Ace or whatever, they get really upset and they think that you're a white nationalist. It's actually because I had a really bad pain disorder, I still do, and when it first started to get really bad, I was looking for a way to, I don't know, feel better, I guess. I knew I wasn't gonna die, but it was really hard. And, so I was looking for a religion. I tried a bunch of different religions. I even tried Islam, actually. And, well, my fucking censored, westernized version of Islam. It was Universal Sufi, which is, like, it's just PC bullshit. And, so I tried that, and I tried a bunch of different things, and nothing worked. And then around that same time, my dad was doing genealogical research, and he found that basically, okay, the real shit is that my great whatever grandmother is William Shakespeare's sister. And the Shakespeares had been raped by the Nords. And so in my genealogical history, the history starts to go back through into mythology. So it goes back into the, you know, Odin is listed on my big genealogical printout chart, that Odin is my 45th great-grandfather, or something like that. And I was like, that's fucking sweet. And so I just got interested in it. I got interested in reading the Eddas and the poetic Eddas, the mythology, and reading about my history, my family's genealogy. Even if they were raped, whatever. I get to you know, hook my fucking line onto the end of that boat as it sails away. And I found it to be very fulfilling for me. I'm pretty hardcore too, actually. I'm not, like, people, I see so many things online, they're like, well, you can make the bloat by, you just pour out some fucking mead for Odin or whoever, whatever Aesir Vaynor you're trying to venerate, you just pour out some mead for them. Like, nah. No, I understand what they were asking for when they asked for the blood, and that's a fucking blood sacrifice. So, I don't kill anything. It's all very personal. But hey, I'm legit. I'm actually a legit Odinist that has nothing to do with white nationalism. I don't actually want to go to Valhalla because I don't want to fight till the end. I would rather go, or Folkvanger. I would rather just die and stop existing. My parents were both atheists. My mom's family were Christians, as were my dad's, but neither of them practiced. Dick's out for Harambe. No, I don't want to go to Valhalla. Nor do I, actually. You would still have to fight in Ragnarok if you went to Folkvanger, and so paganism just makes sense to me because it's such a personological thing. You have to believe these things yourself. There's no one else telling you to believe them. Nothingness besides Hell or Valhalla or Folkvanger. Folkvanger is Freya's field. She takes half of the fallen that don't go to Valhalla, the Hall of Valhalla. Like, I don't know. I think if people find heathenism, including Asatru, including any type of paganism, it's a very personally fulfilling type of belief system. Heathen is a good term too. I mean, because also none of us who are heathens, we're not going to be against the Deus Voltine, you know? We're on your side, generally speaking. Did Destiny link this on his chat or something? I don't understand why there's so many people here. From Destiny's thing, I mean. I know, okay. A lot of Asatru or Odinists are really, really finicky about their terminology, about do we call ourselves Odinists, do we call ourselves Asatru. And for me, to be one of the folk, it's not about, it's about my personal communion with the gods, with the Aesir and Vanir. It is not about anything else. And so some people say you're supposed to go to assembly with other Asatru. I don't fucking do that shit. I sit in my fucking house, I have my fucking beliefs, and I don't bother anybody with them, which is, I believe, how religion should work. Just me. I sit in my fucking house, I don't bother you with my faith, you don't bother me with yours. Well, Emil, if you look at actually the history of how the Odinists were changed, or how they basically converted to Christianity, one of the Norse pagans, the Norse paganistic people, they pretty much changed because, at least in part, the Christians started to adopt their beliefs and not their beliefs, but their culture and their behaviors. All of the, little, what do you call them? The holidays that you celebrate, my friend, they're all pretty much Norse and Celtic pagan traditions. They were adopted by the Christians, who were willing to accept them into their practice, because the Christians were pretty open to how you could practice Christianity, as long as it allowed them more converts. And in addition, they also accepted a lot of these, or they convinced a lot of these people to convert to Christianity, because they said that Ragnarok had already happened and that Jesus was like the next coming of the gods. I like Varg Vikernes. Varg Vikernes. Actually, that has... Exactly. There's a lot of... It's not just that. It's just there's a lot of carryover. And And yes, you are right, actually, Mr. Antivision, that a lot of that was brought upon the Norse people through violence, but also some of it was... Why do you think I'm an Odinist? Because I don't like Semitic religions necessarily, inherently, okay? I understand why you're... Okay. Hey, Mr. Antivision, let's have a conversation. I know that I'm like a minute behind you. Are you upset that I'm not pure enough of an Odinist? Because I do understand that. I understand that I'm not the purest. I'm not the purest because I'm not. My family was raped by Norwegians. You know, we weren't. Unfortunately, I'm not of the purest ancestry. I understand that, and I don't think. But hey, Ragnar Lodbrok is my fucking. No, I don't understand. My fucking Swedish is awful. And whatever, it's just neat. They're my ancestors too, you dick. I think you're trolling. I'm white as fuck. I'm so white. Yeah, I don't speak Norwegian or Swedish or Danish or fucking well, actually, my Icelandic is okay. Could you type in Icelandic? I might understand you a little bit. I'm not saying white means Norse. I'm mostly a fucking Anglo, dude. But your people raped mine, and therefore my ancestor is Ragnar Lodbrok, whether or not he's a real guy or not. I will come to Norway. Would I join a crusade to stop ISIS? Yes, Deus Volt. But that has nothing to do with my religion. For being raped, I should demand reparations? I want to make fucking Constantinople. I want to make... Excuse me, Istanbul, Constantinople again. I'm really serious about that. I think you could make an honest argument here. Oh wait, everybody take this out of context because I'm in the middle of the stream. Everyone take this out of context. I think you could make a legitimate argument for why Hitler did nothing wrong. I really do. I could make the argument. I don't care what other people perceive of me in terms of me being an Odinist. It's my faith. I have, in my opinion, personally communed with Freya. So I don't really give a shit what you think. Like, unless you actually... Have you ever communed with the gods? Have you? If not, then I don't understand what your fucking issue is. I've talked to my ancestors. I have spoken with my ancestors. And you can call me a crazy person, but hey, everyone's faith is crazy, right? All faiths are crazy. I've spoken to my gods, and I have spoken to my ancestors. So, it's good enough for me. Do you want me to say Freya? Like, do you want me to pronounce the ja? You're not supposed to pronounce the J, ding dong. I'm not British, I'm Welsh, faggot. Freya. Is that better? I don't know your language. I'm so sorry. Okay. Actually, I don't know how to say that. Hang on, let me turn on look at my computer. Oh no, it's my new computer, dang it! So I don't have my fucking Icelandic and Polish keyboards. Fuck. Je vil do? I'm not sure. No, make fun of me, please. Like, is it really that much of... I don't think it's a fucking issue, though. No, I'm not Polish. I just like Polish language and Polish culture. I've been trying to learn Polish. I don't, I don't speak, the only language that I speak on an actual, like, fucking real level is Japanese, and it's been so long that it's really bad now. And so I wouldn't, please do not fucking ask me to speak Japanese. I am certified JLPT2, but Celts aren't white? Probably. We're pretty bad. We're pretty fucking dirty. Nice eye. I get the love thing. But, that's a very well-known kanji. Shoot. The languages I have tried to learn. I have tried to learn Arabic. I have a decent understanding. I've tried to learn Spanish. I actually did learn Spanish in high school, and I actually tested out of Spanish for college. So I spoke enough Spanish at that point in time that I was okay. I could listen. I remember being able to listen to the Spanish radio and being like, okay, like understanding it. I speak a really little bit of Icelandic, and I speak a stupid foreigner's passing level of Polish. I mean, you can make fun of the Welsh. I really don't care. The Welsh are really easy to make fun of. Like, we're pretty neato. Here, you want to know a real funny thing? No, albino Africans are still Africans. They're a different haplogroup. So the really funny thing is that my great-great-grandparents moved from Wales, where they mined coal, and then they moved to the United States to mine coal. Well, the Welsh will have a destiny to them, I suppose. We tend to do the same thing everywhere we go. We just look for shit in the dirt. I really don't... Okay, so I really don't think that purity has anything to do with Odinism. But you could... Hey, you could argue with me. I understand. Trust me, many Odinists I've met are pieces of shit like that who say that you're not allowed to, Why am I not a druid? I don't know. What I found spoke to me in terms of what I found I actually had a religious experience with was Odinism. I had an actual religious experience with some of the Norse gods and my ancestors. And you could say, like, fucking faggot. But my experience in terms of what I have felt led me towards the Norse deities. I don't really care, nigger. Like, I don't fucking care. Your country is fucking... Hang on. Your country is fucking fucked. Where are you in? Norway? Well, you're a little bit better than Sweden, I guess. Oh, shoot. I wasn't supposed to do that. I was not high... I was high once during a religious experience, but I've also been sober during one. Actually, just like maybe 6 weeks ago, I was completely sober and I had a religious experience. So... I don't care if you don't believe in my fucking thing. Faith is always feels over reals. That's the inherent fact of faith. Like, do you not understand what faith means, my friend? No, I don't have any knowledge of your... Well, I know you're fucked. I know you're fucked. I know that Angela Merkel's been fucking flooding you guys with dirty fucking refugees who hate your culture and want to rape you all. So... have fun with that. Yeah, I'll tip my fedora to that shit too. No, I don't care about getting... I don't care about getting trolled. It's actually kind of funny. Actually, it's really funny. My religious experience... I basically, okay, so I had made a blood sacrifice to Freya, and I was asking her for help for my hamster, actually. This is the most recent one. I've had them before. This is going to sound really gay. So, this is the most recent one, so this was like a month and a half ago now, or a month ago, whatever. And I know it's super fucking little fucking rodent. Hey, all I did was ask Freya to take him away, to die. And I know, it's sad. And I made my blood sacrifice to Freya, and I threw my stones. I was throwing my stones, and I was looking for answers about, like, will you take him, and asking questions. And then I wrote my rune, the rune that represents the F of the Freya, that represents Freya, and I put that under my bed, and I had what I can only describe as an out-of-body experience. I didn't sacrifice my hamster or anything. No, it's really legit. It's not LARPing. I actually really believe in this shit, and I actually felt like she took him away because the next day he died. And he died in my hands. Well, I don't do, like, blood sacrifice sounds insane. I just, like, I'll do, like, really tiny, like, little, like, pricks of the finger and stuff. Like, just, you know, something to the gods. Because I don't think that sacrifices of booze, which is what a lot of, what do you want to call them? Odinists or whatever, American, neo-pagans do, is they do really baby shit. They're not really willing even to bleed for the gods, and I don't. And that's fine. It's just not my shit. I just think you need a little bit better. I can read the Futhark stones. I do actually sometimes do readings and stuff with them. Bloat, whatever. I didn't kill my hamster. He died the next day. I asked, he had cancer. He had all these tumors all over his body. And, I was really upset. I just wanted him to pass away, you know, happily, or as happy as he could be. And I asked Freya to take him, and the next day he died. No, I totally understand why people wouldn't have faith. It actually makes a lot of sense to me. I was an atheist my entire life. But sometimes when bad shit happens, it does help, emotionally speaking. Of course, it's not scientifically based. Sorry, it was actually really hard for me to lose my hamster. I know it sounds really gay, but the thing is, I was really, really close to him, and both physically and emotionally, he was a really, really good pet. Actually, Freya and Odin did tell me that Trump would win. I have to find a picture. I have a picture of my stones. I rolled the stones on the night of the election. I threw the stones. And it said that a great outside, basically the stones read, a great outside force that is unexpected will come to bring great victory. And I was like, whoa, me, Magic's gonna fucking elect Trump. I was fucking psyched. Do I have a sword? I have a couple. I also have some guns, and I have bows. I think the hamster went to hamster heaven. He lives, well, he's resting outside of my house. I got a little, solar-powered light that I put on top, or a, garden light that I put on top of his grave. So now, you know, it lights up every night. That's really cute. I actually asked Freya to take him to Folkvanger just to let him live in her field, but I don't know if that happened. Thank you, Tamala. Oh shit, used to be a blacksmith, dude. That's fucking awesome. I had to, in high school, I had to learn how to use the forge. Ugh, I hated it. I hated having to, like, melt metal. It was really scary. It was so spooky. I was more afraid of using, like, the great big oven thing to melt metal when we were, like, doing art stuff than I have to been to smelt metal, yeah, than I have to been to fire a gun. I do like Golden One, actually, and I like Millennial Woes, which is another person I know that's like, and Varg. Uh, People I know who are all like, oh, you're not supposed to watch those people because they're too hardcore right-wing. But whatever. I really like Varg. I don't always agree with him, but I do like his content. Well, before Odin, there is actually a history before Odin, because there's a bunch of giants. You like a Nazi? Which one? Sure. Well, how? I don't care if Varg wouldn't like me. Fine, I like him. I don't care if he's a Nazi either. You can like people who don't have all of your exact same opinions. I like Styx Hexenhammer too. I don't care if... I know Varg hates video and masturbation. It doesn't mean I can't... What is with this thing where leftists think... I truly find this incomprehensible. Like, if you don't agree with me on every single thing, then you're against me. Like, you know, you can have a pretty nuanced set of opinions. Do you understand? You can have a very nuanced set of opinions that means, like, hey, I enjoy somebody even though I don't fucking agree with them on absolutely everything. I don't care if he's a Nazi. Again, why would I care? I still find him entertaining.
This is so stupid. Like, I don't get this. It makes me insane.
You can enjoy someone's content without agreeing with them on everything politically speaking. Is it a Varg video, Mr. Antivision? I like Nazi uniforms. I fucking Hugo Boss was the boss. Oh my god. What is this? Whoops, that's not it. What's this video?
Hello there.
Scarce?
Crazy.
Oh man! Yeah, I don't like this anyway. I don't know. What do I like about Varg? He's fucking real, man. He's legit. I like his opinion. I just want to hear his opinions on shit. And also, yes, Nazism is misunderstood. I'm not a fucking Nazi, okay? But it is misunderstood. And... Well, I'm a scientist, so, Sephiroth rules. I thought you were doing, like, a scarce impression at first, man. I am... I'm not an atheist. I was. But... facts and evidence. How can we ever find any facts or evidence for anything that's based on faith? These have to be things that we have to, you know, come across ourselves, I would say. And that's difficult because it means that no one's ever going to agree with anyone else. Like these two little nignogs in my fucking stream being like, you're not a real Odinist. Okay. According to you, sure. It's not going to stop my veneration of the gods. TD infiltrating Pole. Who? The alt-right aren't Nazis. Some of them are, but not all of them. This is really kind of gay. Because this whole alt-right thing is retarded. It's as retarded as it can be. Could we, eventually at the end of the universe, with omnipotent abilities as a scientist, prove the existence or unexistence of a god? Sure. But are we there? I don't know. My field of study is, advertise on TD. What? What's that? I actually don't know what that is. Hang on, sorry. My field of study is media psychology. I basically study how people use, media, television, film, comic books, video games, how they use them. Oh, the Donald. I was on the Donald? I tried to once, and I got deleted. I haven't advertised on there at all. And that was also like, it was earlier on in my career where I was like, I just want people to see my shit. I didn't want to fucking advertise on Poll because I know what will happen there. I love Gad Sad. He's super fucking, he's very intelligent. And Joseph Peterson. So I'm not an evolutionary psychologist. I'm not a psychologist in the way that those two guys are. I'm a psychologist that only studies the media. I'm a communication scientist. I fucking make fun of that. It's a fucking joke. It is a joke. But, hey, that's what I study. I study how people use media. And that can be funny as an idea. But we can also learn a lot from it. You can talk about a lot of things, bring up a lot of topics in front of me, and trust me, I will find a way to pretty much bring back every topic you bring up to communication science. Trust me. It's neato. How media use people, yes. No, I am a scientist. I'm a statistician. I have a PhD, or about to have a PhD in statistics. So, if you don't have a PhD in essentially statistics, you can suck my dick. If you choose to not call me a scientist, Please, have at it. I've read Nietzsche. I teach your children. Dude, Emil, you're the best troll ever, dude. You're really making me laugh. Multivariate data analysis is the bane of my life too. Whoa, dude, you do some log. Ugh. Log. Fucking A. I'm too high. Why do I have a gypsy name? Log linear analysis is worse than multivariate data analysis. That's what I meant to say. Fuck. Why do I have a gypsy name? From Aiden? Actually, I could tell you my fucking story. Would you like to hear it? I'm a Puritanist. It's really funny that your little god sent you two here, or you three here, to come and fuck with me. That's really weird. But hey, you know what? You guys are bringing me more money, so, or more views. My educational background is as such. I have 3 undergraduate degrees. I have a degree in organizational communication, a degree in public relations, and a degree in psychology. I have a master's degree in communication studies, and I am a PhD student in communication studies, with an emphasis on media psychology and social science, aka more specifically, interpersonal communication. Or, excuse me, intergroup communication. Oh no, please mock my degrees. I find them very funny. Thank you, Tyler, by the way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. No, a degree in obtaining degrees is pretty true. I am 26. I am a student. I do YouTube on the side. I have taken courses in gender studies. I took a year off of college to work for a career as a professional portfolio writer. I got paid a lot of money. I do not have any cats. I like cats. No, not my university. What is this? Yeah, I posted this one thing. Do you see how it didn't even get posted though? Like, this post was never posted. If it's up now, look, it's 63% upvoted. They didn't even like it. I posted this one video. Are you fucking kidding me? What kind of weird fucking stalker are you, Meg, dude? My PhD thing only involves me teaching. It's all I've ever wanted to do, is to teach. I love doing my research, and I love teaching. It's, like, the best. I really, really love teaching, and I also really love doing research. So, luckily I have, well, maybe not luckily, because it involves a job that means you have to go to school for 20 years. I get to have a really cool job where I get to do both the things that I wanted to do my entire life. Maybe women just like to teach. I don't know. I don't have research on that. But we like teaching, I think. As for cats versus dogs, I'm more of a cat person, but I love dogs. I love, love, love dogs. I don't know. It's a really hard question. Oh, shoot. I drank all my fucking sody pop. Excuse me. Academia is extremely oversaturated. This is why I tell all of my students. I won't tell them in front of other people, but I'll tell you guys. Don't go to college. Don't go to college. Don't go to college. No, I only drink seltzer. Yeah, Tyler Health. Send it to me either here or on Patreon or Twitter, excuse me, and I'll watch it. I'm really cool about everybody. Like, I actually kind of feel like maybe I shouldn't be so chill. Like, maybe I should be more of a bitch. But I'm really bad at that. I'm really, really bad at being a bitch. I'm really bad. The alternative to college is trade school. You can learn how to do a trade. Like, all of my family are plumbers and carpenters and fuck off motorcycle. And they're, they all have really successful careers. Yeah, college is awful if you have to pay for it. And the thing is, I didn't have to pay for my college. I've never paid for college. It's not because of you're women. It's because I've always been within the top 1% of everything. So, people who are like, your fucking degree is stupid. Well, yeah, maybe it is stupid, but I could have gotten a degree. I was accepted. Fuck off! Sorry. I was accepted into the Air Force Academy as a physics major. So, when anyone's like, you stupid fucking degree, it's like, well, homie, I could have been a physicist right this second, but I am not, because instead I was like, I have autism and I enjoy seeing how people interact with each other, and that really interests me more than stars and planets, which it does. And, sorry. Construction pays really, really well. Actually, a lot of my family is in construction. Oh, Tyler, I'll find your fucking YouTube thing. Don't. Things. No. I probably won't watch it right this second. We could, if you want to watch it on air, but I don't know what the fuck this thing is. Like I said, this video is going to be cut down to about an hour after everything goes down. No, I understand. Like, what about Mexicans? Do I actually have autism? If I had been born in 2010 and not 1990, I would have been diagnosed with autism, for sure. I have... Whoa. What the fuck? Yeah, if I had been diagnosed at that point in time, I would have been definitely considered autistic. No. You have to understand. I was obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine and with Legos and shit like that. I was really autistic in terms of like what was determined as autistic. Yeah, Asperger's. It would have been something like that. I would have been Asperger's if I was born 10 years later, 20 years later. I don't mind admitting that shit. I think the thing is that like people like Emil and whatever his dick is, they're trying to call me a faggot. The thing they don't understand is that I embrace my faggotry. I embrace my autism. You can't hurt me this way. Hyper focus on super specific things. Yes, I really wish I had pictures of how weird I was about Barbie, for example. Like, I'm a gorilla, so they got me a, they used to get me just, lots of Barbie things, but I would never ask my parents for just, like, a Barbie. I would ask for, like, Barbie's soda shop and Barbie's trip to the mall. And I would set up the little shops. I actually, like, made, like, planks of wood out to build a multi-level mall for Barbie to visit. But if anyone touched it, I would lose my shit, and I would get really upset. Maybe that's why I'm autistic now. I don't know. But my point is, I was a very autistic child. Oh shit, I'm probably a very autistic adult. Not Amy Schumer as Barbie, nay! I actually told everybody to call me Thomas when I was a kid. I didn't want to be a girl, I wanted to be a boy. And thank you, Sephiroth Rules. I wanted to be a boy, and I I told everybody to call me Thomas when I was a kid. I'm pretty much normal now. I actually had to learn how to put on makeup and how to do my nails and stuff because my mom never taught me that shit. So I had to learn how to be a female. I'm the opposite of a trans person, or is it the same thing? I'm not sure. Where I had to learn how to be the gender I identify as. Yeah, if I had been born 10 years later, I would have been considered an autistic trans man rather than just a weird tomboy. Who knows? This is the fucking bullshit of this whole thing. It's super fucking stupid. And yes, I do identify as Thomas the Tank Engine. I identify as a steam locomotive. Thank you, APUB. I love Chris Chan. I haven't watched him in years, though. What has he done besides just... Don't call anyone. Oh, no, it's don't call anybody. That's it. Well, that's what I think. I have a lot of trans friends who are male to female transgender. Now, if I was to be clear, as I believe I said in the video, if we could just give them a pill to make them feel not trans, obviously, that is what I would prefer. Because it's very hard and it's very sad the things that they feel. That's very sad. But if the only thing we have is to do the transition, I guess that's what we have to do? I don't know. Yeah, I guess because, for some children, some of them, they are going to know from a very young age that they are not the right gender that they were born in terms of their brain chemistry. And we know that from a fucking scientific level. I don't know if that fucking faggot left. But the thing is that we actually do know from a scientific level that transgenderism does have a scientific basis. I'm sure he's going to be, if he's still here, anyway, it does have a scientific basis. And the fact of the matter is that, well, how can we make a definitive statement, therefore, that... Well, first of all, I don't believe that that this whole transitioning thing is a good thing, because it involves mutilating one's genitals. If we could just give them a pill that would make them not feel that way, is that not the better outcome? And yes, you're completely correct, Emil. Transitioning does not make them want to kill themselves less. You're completely correct. I have made that statement before. This is why I don't really support it, because it doesn't appear to work. If it's the only thing we have, okay. But we need to actually have a way to fix them. That's the problem, though. We have to find a way to be able to fix these people so they won't want to fucking kill themselves. I just saw that fucking video today where she did that. She wanted to be disabled, and she poured drain cleaner on her eyes. That's insane, dude. What the fuck? Mutilate is not a scientific term. No, it's a loaded term. The more... In terms of what happens to people who take these... Well, actually, no. No, to be completely honest, the scientific term for what we do to transgender people, it should be mutilate. because even though that word might be loaded, that is an accurate description of what happens. Because your organs are, if you're a man, turned inside out, and opposite-wise, we take skin off of your butt and we put it onto your clitoris to make a penis. It's basically mutilation. I mean, you could describe it as something else, but it's really messed up. Post your links, Mr. Antivision, because I've never seen that data. I've never seen it. Circumcision is mutilation. I agree. And Mr. Antivision, are you on Twitter? I'll add you and you can send me tweets. You can DM me, I mean. I'm against circumcision. Just as I'm against female genital mutilation. That's horrible. Just stop it. I don't agree with any type of genital mutilation. Yep. Yeah, Misty said it right. It's against the person's will, and they have no ability to have any fucking input into that. And it fucks you up for life. Voluntary circumcision of adults is up to their own fucking proclivity. So no shit, they can do whatever the fuck they want. That would just be my opinion. Like, adults can do what they like. If they want to, circumcise their dicks, fine. You're an adult. But not a child. Yeah, fine. You're 18, you do it voluntarily, good. Good on you. It's up to you. It's your fucking decision. You're a fucking adult. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I would actually hate myself for telling you what to do. In terms of the most people doing the weird Bible shit. No, that's obviously wrong. The shit about fucking foreskins is is this what you want for yourself? That's how it should be. I mean, Well, I think that... No, Emil. You're getting very wrong. You're misunderstanding me to a really extreme point where I can tell that you're either a troll or you're a fucking retard. Okay. If trans people want to do what they do currently to their bodies, fine. Is that necessarily the best thing that we could do for them, considering that they have a brain disorder, they have a cognitive disorder, there's something wrong with their minds? And that's not rude, that's not discriminatory, it's truthful. They have an issue with their brains, with their brain chemistry. That is science, you faggot. So, if they choose to address that brain chemistry malfunction by getting their dick cut off or by having their vagina turned into a peep, fine. This has nothing to do with anything else. This has nothing to do with circumcision, which is usually done before children are fucking well aware of what's going to happen to their ding-dong. Is that right either? No, it's something I also disagree with. Like, if you wanted to say that, oh, maybe we should just we should allow people to have circumcisions when they put their penis in their vagina when they're fucking 3 years old. No, then go fucking kill yourself. Science is science. It is. I can't fucking tell you what your shit is. I don't know. Think people wanting circumcision are mentally ill? Yes. Not maybe, yeah. Sorry. Maybe not all the time if they think there's some fucking medical reason for it, but for the most part, if they want it for I don't know, some kind of other weird reason, unless it's part of their religion. If it's part of their religion, it's part of their religion. In which case, fuck off. It's a part of their religion. Fuck off. You're not allowed to say shit about that. as long as they're only touching themselves. They're not harming anyone else. If they choose that as an adult, they are an adult. Science is science, you fucking idiot retard. This is what makes me so angry. These stupid liberals, they don't understand science at all, and yet they're like, I'm gonna follow. I fucking love science. You know how disgusted it makes me when I see people who are like, repost I fucking love science because I like the science. It makes me want to fucking vomit, dude. Kill yourself. It's really interesting to me how you all posted your thing, like, right in a row. So, is Destiny telling you to do this? Who's telling you? This is Destiny, yeah? Neat. I can tell. It's very cool. Traps are very gay. But that's okay. I can't understand these people. They're too fucking dumb. I actually can't understand them. They talk like idiots. How am I supposed to respond to this? Emil, there's 6 of you or some shit. There's a whole bunch. Destiny totally sent you. He always does. He's a really pathetic, sad little man. I don't understand what you're even talking about. What did Antivision send me? I don't... Like I said, there's like 6 of you. I can't keep up with it. What are traps? Oh, we all know what traps are. Yeah, Destiny tried to destroy Sargon, which is really not going to work out well for him. He can keep trying, but, it's not going to work out. Sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Rest in peace. Oh, you heard my phone just go off. Where was it? I'm sure it was a Destiny fucking fag calling my phone as they happened, even after I changed my fucking number. Jesus Christ, like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do anything? Like, they called my phone they called my phone 30 times a day. And it's like, what am I supposed to do other than just get a new phone number? Which is what I did. But now it's still, like, I have to fucking deal with his shitty-ass fans trying to fucking find out who I am. It's really, really... What did I do? What did I do to irritate you so bad? Could it just be because I didn't agree with your Messiah? And you're this mad? It's really fucking depressing, actually. Like, how could you be that kind of a... What is wrong with you? I guess I have to ask. What's wrong? Where that's what you have to focus on? Do I think hormones are not safe? No, I think they're safe. See, here's what you have to do. As a Destiny fan, you have to misconstrue everything I say I can tell because he's sending people here right now. I can see the fucking thing go up. Because I don't agree with everything he says. It means that I'm a horrible racist, I'm a sexist, I should probably be murdered. Because that's what you believe, isn't it, Destiny fans? Don't you believe that I should probably die in a fire? It's what you believe. It's what your savior and your God told you to believe, isn't it? That is what your savior told you, isn't it? Please tell me. No, tell me. Yes, see? Here we go. This is because Destiny hates. He's a horrible human being. He really should not be around a child. I honestly believe that his child should be taken away from him. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. His child should be taken away from him because he is a really bad person who should not be around a child. His child is going to end up being fucked up in the head if he spends time around that piece of shit as his dad. That kid cannot properly develop if that child is around him. Really sad. Onision is probably a better parent than Destiny. Yeah, Onision has a kid, as does Destiny. They both have one little child, both of whom should probably be removed from that parent, because if your parent is a fucking psychopath, oh, I don't believe that you should be raised by them. I feel very bad. Like, if I was a douchebag, if I was a real piece of shit, if I was Steve Bonnell. So, imagine I have no morals, and I'm a complete piece of shit, trash, garbage. What I would do is I would call CPS on him. Instead, watch me. Within a month, he will have called CPS on Carl Benjamin on Sargon of Akkad. Watch me. He will have done it because that's how he works. He's done it before. He will do it again. He has no consideration for the people he talks to. I love how he's told his fucking fan base to come in here. It's really neat. Oh, he's attacked me several times. He's attacked me to the point where I had to have my fucking phone number changed. He was a semi-pro StarCraft player, yeah. He's doing it right now. You can see. Look, watch them come in here. Watch them come in here and do this. And the thing is, they're going to try and tell me to kill myself because they hate me this much. And they hate the fact that they hate me to the point where they wish I was dead for the only reason that I don't agree with him. Oh, is Steve in here? Steve, talk to me. I think John actually did pretty well against Destiny too, despite Destiny's Gitch Galloping. Watch. He posted it on his stream. Watch this. Oh my god, this is so interesting. Oh my god, he posted it on his stream. Yay! Thank you. Oh my god, thank you. Kill yourself, Steve. I'm about to fucking shut this shit down, you faggots. Oh, look at all these kill yourself comments. This is neat. Like, they don't know what Gish Gallop is. Oh my god. Oh, this is awesome. Oh my god, thank you so much, guys. I have so much stuff to use in a new video. Thank you. No, please keep talking. Oh my god, I have so much stuff to talk about. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm leaving this up just to collect data. Oh my god. This is perfect. Oh my god. This is so cool. Thank you. Oh, I love how you did this. You guys are gonna call my phone 20 times again today. Thank you. Look at Destiny's Cult. Look at Destiny's Cult. Look at Destiny's Cult. There have been 30 people on this stream for the last 3 hours, and then I talk about him for 5 minutes, and look what happens. Look what happens. Look at his cult. Look at his cult. I'm recording this shit, you motherfuckers. You can't even escape from it now. I'm recording this shit, you fucking faggots. I'm recording it. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from the fact that you're a fucking cult, you cocksuckers. Woo! Oh my god. Why do I hate Destiny so much? Well, why don't you look at the, let's look at the comment section right now. Well, that's why you would understand why I hate Steve Bonnell so much. He's a cult. Look at his cult. Here it is. Here is his cult. Look at what a fucking bunch of fags they are. Here's his cult. Destiny sends his regards. Kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself. Thank you. Cult, cult, cult. I hate you. Faggot. All this shit. Okay. You know, guys, you can't hurt the... Oh, that's right. We're evil. We're so evil. You can't hurt us. You can't hurt me. Dude, you can't. You can try. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. Hey, Teflon, would you like to hang out and play video games? Because I'm about to end this shit since they all came in here and started to become faggots. Yeah, bye-bye! How do I end this? How do I end this, actually? I don't know. I don't know how to end this. Oh, I know how to end this.